wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. That's right, we made it. It's the final day of the work week for many. I know not all, including ourselves.
You know, big old pile of shift work most of the time, but yeah, it's not going to be one of those weekends this weekend.
No. But for many of you, it will be, and I hope you enjoy it.
Sure.
Weather-wise, it's going to be a little windy today.
Now, I will say this. Yeah, we got to put in a couple extra hours here and there. Which,
Yeah.
No
Sure.
bueno. But I've mentioned this to you before. Every other weekend, it's kind of sweeter. Just
for you.
Yeah, I know that I'm going to go home tonight and there's not going to be screams.
It's true, you do have
I'm
a
not
quiet
going to have to clean
weekend.
up messes or make dinner that's not going to be eaten.
Oh, I do need an update.
Oh,
Did Tony come back?
Tony's not come back yet.
No, Tony's
Tony
still on
now
walkabout.
is causing a problem amongst the park because I've had to leave food out because I'm trying to get him to coax him to come back.
Oh.
And
Have you seen Tony?
I have.
Oh,
He pops out from time to time, says hi, checks in, waves once or twice, then bails.
I think
As I stand up and go, hey, what? And he's just gone.
Tony's born free.
You know that old phrase, the speed of a cat? Yeah, they ain't whistling Dixie. Them things is fast.
They are wiry and
yeah.
And yes.
And then once you do catch them, they do this stuff.
I wish I
saying.
could share with you on air what one of my texts I keep getting from a friend of ours. She sent one yesterday that made me laugh, and she reset it today. It's making me laugh, but I can't say it on the radio. It goes back to kind of our Italian thing yesterday. Remember yesterday, we're like, hey, Tony. Well, she's like, hey, don't,
No.
I can't say it on the
That's
radio.
okay. We'll save that one for off air. That's pops in. He's just like, hey, hey.
But as soon as I was
You gonna
like,
set food out or what?
I asked her how Tony was. I saw my text light up. I was like, there it is. I can't say it on the radio. Sorry. It's funny. Trust me.
I'm sure. I'm sure it has something to do with how.
Well, maybe Tony will pop in for the weekend and.
I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be deprecating. I thought it was going to be something like, yeah, well.
No.
The kitty constantly runs away. Yeah,
No.
well, that's true.
No. I will say this. She's on Team Sean.
Oh, well, thanks. Wait, the other opponent is like a we'll call it 10-month-old cat. I mean, that's I would go with adorable first.
Well, she's on Team you.
He's got a tail like this. It's adorable. I want him back. He's just off apparently sowing his wild oats.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's the other cat? Maybe doesn't get along with
No, they play around. They have fun.
We think they didn't have a spat and said, I'm out, and Tony's like, I can't deal with this cat anymore.
I don't think it's relationship woes. I think that my friend nailed it yesterday. I think that there's another cat outside that's in heat.
Oh, Tony wants to get his
That's what's
romance
happening.
on.
And that's why he was so PO'd at me that I pulled him back into the house.
Okay.
Hence he gave me this. Hence, he sprayed somewhere in my daughter's room that I now have to go track down and bailed as soon as he could. Yeah, I blocked my cat.
I gotcha. Okay.
I rooster blocked my cat.
Okay. Now I see. Yeah, you can't stop love, man. That's why you got to get him spayed and neutered.
I didn't mean to be the...
It's the most pathetic thing on the planet when these animals get like what our youngest Bella. We got her from when we got her. I think they were off a little bit on her age, and they were like, well, we want to wait till 6 months to spay her. She's little, so we waited about a month before we spayed her.
Yeah.
And she went into heat like a week before we were going to spay her, and oh my God, it was God. She's like wanting attention, but it's oogie. Mm-hmm. It's so oogie because she's like wanting a pet, but then she's offering you like
backs it in.
Yeah, she's offering you stuff like, "Hey, come on," and you're like, "Ew, go away, you stupid cat! I'm not your lover."
Got into this conversation yesterday, and literally my friend was like, "Could you imagine what it would be like if we were like that? We were like cats when we were heating. Just, hey, how's it going? Hmm? Yeah, doing good.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, how you doing? And so I get that.
No, I just wanted I need a Tulsa.
So I imagine Tony's the other way. Tony's like, no, I'm chewing through cinder block to get what I gotta get.
Exactly. That's why he like.
Okay,
that's why when I went under the first, I started piecing this puzzle together. When I went under the first time, he wanted the snuggles. He came up to me for the snuggles, and I grabbed him to pull him out. He's like, "Oh no, wait! I haven't gotten none yet. Hold on."
Yeah.
And so that's why he was crying the whole night. He was whining. He was literally. There's a scene from an old HBO documentary where it's like an insane asylum, and there's a guy who's just walking around the whole time going, "I hate this place. Nothing works around here. I've been here for 7 years. I hate this place. The medication doesn't work."
Or
actually, was my cat the other night.
Or be like, I just finished 11/22/63 on Hulu. Yeah. You know, when he's going around in time, there's always like this guy pops up. You ain't supposed to be here, kind of like that. You're supposed to be here.
Wrong kid died.
But maybe all right. Maybe this exists. Maybe in the world of felines, we can come up with like, I don't know, in heat cat in a can. So you can like, not actually put the cat in the can.
Cat heat in a can.
But say you want to lure Tony out, you can like spray just a little in the house. Like, hey, there's a cat wanting to get
I'm just saying. At this point, I'm just thinking of branding. Feline heat.
Just saying, if he could spray just like in the doorway.
Oh, that's funny.
And get the cat to be like, "Ooh, I smell something good in there," and then go inside. I'm just saying, this could be a game changer if we can figure this out.
In fairness, catnip sort of does that now. I mean, they sort of get like that for catnip. But I wonder, I've got to imagine there's got to be some kind of heat in a can that just makes me laugh. That's just, oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
Where is that product?
We've been to the moon, man. We could do this.
Right.
We've been to the moon. We could do this.
It's time to make it happen. Heat in a can. Feline heat. I just want to do the commercial.
I think we could.
Feline heat.
That's right. I think it'd be amazing.
Get him in the moment, even when no one is there.
Yeah. And I say we could...
Just like with purrs.
Yeah, and then we get two cans, one for the males, one for the females, in case you got one. Telling you, man, you get Barry White to voice the ad.
Careless whispers.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, this could be the Shonko kind of line. I'm thinking it should be a real product. I'm thinking we could be millionaires. Nothing this big since Poobie Gone on the movie Envy.
See,
remember Poobie Gone?
I do remember Poobie Gone. You're right.
I think it would be as big as that.
Who says that morning radio doesn't give you something? I mean, heat in a can, breakfast, fish, sandwich. This show has everything.
That's right.
Including amazing segues.
That's right.
What's up?
Speaking of breakfast fish sandwich. Big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's, because that's the other reason why Friday's awesome around here, is because it's a McDonald's Friday.
Yes, sir.
Visit any of your McDonald's, including the newly opened South Main McDonald's, or download the app. That thing's great. Put that app on your phone, because you can order through that app and get exclusive deals to that app. You can use it to go through the drive-thru, dine in, carry out, whatever it is you desire. It works with you.
Let me tell you how the app legitimately saved me today.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's hear an app-saving story.
I'm halfway to dropping my kids off at mom's house. Okay?
All right.
That's morning routine. Before I come to work, I have to drop the kids off.
That's not a euphemism.
No, that's literally I have to drop the kids off at mom's house. So we stop at McDonald's traditionally every morning, get them hash browns. That's their breakfast. I left the house halfway away from my house, realized I don't have my debit card.
Oh.
I wasn't about to go all the way back to my house, unlock my car, go in the house, find my, get my card, all that nonsense. I could have, sure, didn't want to. That's when the app came in handy.
That's right.
I whipped out the app after I pulled up into a safe spot. Whipped out the app, 3 hash browns, order, pay,
digital
done.
pay, yeah.
Went through the code, pulled through the drive-through, had my code ready. They had my bag ready. Boom, done. Boom.
Attach your card that you left at the house to the app, and then it goes right with you. It's
simple as that.
Or, I like to use Apple Pay with my stuff. Same kind of deal, though. But yeah, it's perfect.
Such a flex. All right, Gene. Sorry.
Is it?
Oh no, I
don't know how it works on your phone. I just know how it works on my phone.
I'll have to find that TikTok and show you, because it was like Android phones versus iPhone screens.
Yeah.
And it was like the version that was like the Apple phone. He like stepped on like one stone and it just showed the whole of him just shattering. It was like an iPhone. You just throw it across a room and it's just fine, which actually rings true. I mean, I don't know if yours is probably fine, because I'm sure you take care of it.
Runs like a champ. So.
Right. Mine, I've literally, because I have this problem. Okay, I have a problem, and it's an old fat guy problem that I carried over to my normal size days. When I'm going anywhere, I will take whatever is on my lap, phone, whatever, and tuck it. Without even realizing I do it, I lift my gut and tuck it here. This is horrible radio, but I've done that for years, and then I forget about it after I get out, and then I can't tell you how many times I've dropped my phone.
Because the wrinkle don't hold it.
Yeah, for a minute it does, but
Well, and then you shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nature's pocket until it's not.
Well, maybe they need to design those. Like, they got like I'm gonna wrap it up because I gotta get an interview going, but like, you've seen those things like where you attach to your rearview mirror or whatever, and it's like a whole cell phone holder.
It's called a fanny pack.
I'm just saying, but I think if you have like a same concept, it just wedges in your fat wrinkles, and then it holds out, and it's hands-free phone use.
It's made of that gecko material, right? That gecko silicone that holds on to stuff. Yeah. The stuff they give you to clean out the nooks and crannies in your car. That stuff.
That would be cool too.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
All right. Masters of Invention. Visit McDonald's 3 locations now here in Roswell. Stop by the new South Main location and download the app. It'll save your bacon too.
And if you're looking for mchire.com, they can hire through there as well. Let me give you the rundown today. We're going to replay our interview we had with the Roswell Community Little Theater folks yesterday, reminding you tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, those are the last 3 opportunities to check out 4 Old Broads. Also, March 7th, they're going to be having auditions for their next performance, Clue. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we talk a little bit about that, too, in there. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:30, Yvette Harrell, Congresswoman, is going to be calling in, give us an update, talking, I'm sure, Congress, talking Ukraine, talking all kinds of stuff there with her. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, the folks from Main Street Roswell scheduled to join us tonight. Is First Friday. A lot of Dr. Seuss action going on. A lot of great stuff happening. Already been seeing stuff online. Matthew Palmer's going to be downtown performing. I believe it's Stiller Coffee. I saw Imagine that's going to have a bunch of Dr. Seuss stuff going on over at their place. I know there's a bunch of other stuff, but we'll have the folks from Main Street Roswell join us, give us the rundown there. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local variety and the national variety, Wall Street updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at that weather. It's going to be warm today, but winds coming with it.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll start off cloudy today, but some sunshine coming back by afternoon. We have low pressure that'll be moving through our area, so the wind will be gusty. No rain with that system, though. Our afternoon high today in the low 80s. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll drop about 10 degrees on our afternoon high tomorrow. Breezy, sunny, and low 70s. Upper 60s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. We got a red flag warning today because of that wind. That's going to kick in at 9 o'clock this morning, remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. What we're looking at is cloudy skies through mid-morning. Gradually, that'll clear off. Good news part, highs supposed to be around 82 today. It is March. We're going to be in the 80s. That's pretty cool. But winds, southwest 5 to 15 early, picking up later today, 20 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour later this afternoon. Tonight, we're looking at clear skies with an overnight low of 41. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour, decreasing down 10 to 15 miles per hour after midnight. For your weekend on Saturday, sunny and 72. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 tomorrow afternoon. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 33. Southwest winds 5 to 15. And then Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 68. Breezy winds will be out of the southwest 10 to 15 early. 20 to 25 for the afternoon. Could see wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. Sunday night's going to remain breezy as well, mostly clear with an overnight low of 28. And then cooler for next week. Monday, we're looking at 56 for a high under sunny skies. We'll remain in the 50s through Tuesday. And then by midweek, Wednesday, we'll be back up in the upper 60s there. So don't forget, we got playoff basketball on the radio for you this weekend. Goddard Lady Rockets start their first round of the playoffs tonight. Scott Galletti will call that game. It'll be a radio-only broadcast right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. It's playoffs. We weren't able to procure video rights up there up north, so we can just bring them to you on the radio. So tonight, 6 p.m., Scott Galletti will call the girls' first-round playoff game. Tomorrow night, at 5 p.m., the Goddard boys will have their playoff game. Once again, Scott Galletti will call that game for you. It'll be a radio-only broadcast beginning at about 5 p.m. tomorrow night. So girls tonight at 6, Goddard boys tomorrow night at 5. Hear both games, radio only, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Scott Galletti, who's an amazing broadcaster, will be calling that game for us here this weekend, those games this weekend. All right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with the Roswell Community Theater talking about the final weekend of 4 Old Broads. That's coming up on the other side. Don't go away.
Celebrate spring break at the Spring River Zoo with one of their exciting day camps. Each day is a separate camp where children will enjoy animal-themed crafts and games, fun educational activities, a guided tour of the zoo, and amazing encounters with the animals for children age 4 through 6. Events will take place March 14th and 15th from 8 a.m. till noon. For children age 7 to 12, themed camps will take place March 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call the Spring River Zoo at 575-624-6750 or visit roswellconnect.org for information and to reserve your ticket.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at RoswellUFOmuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Community Little Theater, we have Denise Samuels back with us.
Hello.
Trisha Hart as well.
Hello.
And then Chris Whitman's just kind of hanging out in the corner like a wallflower here. So
we're not giving him a microphone.
He speaks enough on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? Well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Good. And I will say this. I saw the play Saturday night, which is called Four Old Broads, if you guys haven't heard. I don't know how you're not. We've been pretty much talking pretty fast and furious about it for the last month or so. But you've got one more weekend if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, or you saw it last week and you're like, it was funny, I'm going to bring some friends.
Yes.
Come out for this next weekend, which I highly recommend you do. If drag your friends that didn't go with you last weekend, bring them this weekend and come see it. It's called Four Old Broads. There's a Friday night show, a Saturday night show, and a Sunday afternoon show. The Friday, Saturday night shows are at 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
Then the Sunday matinees at 2:30. You can get advance tickets right now at roswelltheater.com.
Right.
Make sure you spell theater like live theater, Theatre.
Right.
And get tickets. Or if you're just a guy that forgets everything and waits till the last minute, you can show right up at the door and they'll get you in. No problem. But I'm just saying, y'all been having pretty full audiences this last weekend.
I got to tell you, we broke some records with our attendance this weekend, last weekend. It was amazing. Opening night, we had 106 people. Nice. That was just phenomenal.
Good.
And the cast they turned it on because we feed off the laughter,
I would imagine.
you know?
and Trisha, your character, what's your character's name? I can bad at names.
Beatrice.
But she's one of the Four Old Broads.
That's right. She's the ringleader of the Four Old Broads.
I'm the sassy retired burlesque dancer.
Yes. Well, they're all a little sassy. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the sass factor is 7.
Sass is strong.
Yes.
And but yeah, it's a real fun play. And I'm glad to see and I know Saturday night when I went, I don't know the numbers, but there wasn't a lot of empty seats that night either.
Saturday we had 82.
Okay.
And then Sunday matinee, which usually Sundays are our smaller shows, the matinee. We had 92
wow,
there
so you had
on
a big
Sunday.
Crowd there too.
It was so exciting. 280 total for the weekend.
That's
so
perfect.
It's a record breaker for an opening weekend.
That's awesome. Good
I
for
am
you guys.
so elated.
Happy
We had to order more inserts for the programs. Boy, I was just so happy.
These are great problems to have, aren't they?
Yes, and
Great.
like you were saying, I've heard a lot of people, like one of my friends from work, Christy, she and her family came opening night, and her mom enjoyed it so much she brought her friend back Saturday night to see it.
And here's the fun thing. Even if you saw it this past week, it's live theater.
Right.
Every single show is different.
A little bit, yeah.
It's live theater. Things happen.
Right.
A line gets missed here, or a misstep on a thing, or a picture falls off a wall. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, been there. Been there, done that.
Things happen, and live theater, you can't just not do something about that. That's part of the theater, you know. I mean, if you're out there on stage and a picture falls off the wall and you just act like that didn't happen, the audience is like, most people are like, what the heck was that? You know, I mean, that's what, and
my favorite ad lib. Turn it up. I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I'm curious, I saw Saturday, and I'm not going to, but. How much ad-libbing was done? Because I couldn't tell. I wouldn't know if it was at all. But was it pretty spot on, or was there a few?
I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never noticed not one little. If there was any missings or anything, none of it I noticed.
We're not professionals, but we like to think we are.
Oh, I would say you are.
I would say
seasoned actors.
The only thing that doesn't make you guys professionals is the fact that no one gives you a paycheck for this. I think other than that, the skill set and the time and the effort that you guys do is right there with the people that get paid for a living to do this, I believe.
Flattery will get him everywhere.
Thank you, Mike.
Because you guys, I mean, what you guys do up there, not everybody can do that. You know what I mean? And not everybody, and the sheer dialogues and things that you guys have to know, that's impressive. And you can't just be an amateur and pull that off. You know what I'm saying? That it takes skills, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes dedication. That's the other thing. I mean, you guys see, basically the public sees you guys do on average of 9 hours of show a week. You know, there's probably hundreds of hours behind that just to give you those 9 hours of presentation between the 9 shows we do here, you know?
Absolutely, yes. We cast the play back in December and started rehearsals the 3rd of January, and at least 3 nights a week, 2 hours each rehearsal, and throwing in some extra ones there too. And of course they're running lines at home, you know, and it is a lot of work. And you know, as a director too, you have to start planning months out. Like, okay, what kind of props do I need? Like, what kind of set do I want? And so
it's not just show up, let's do a play.
Yeah, exactly.
And all right, we can't wing it.
That's called improv, and that's a whole other thing.
and to be honest, to do improv right, there ain't a lot. I mean, there may be winging it on stage, but nothing outside of that, nothing else is winged. It's all, you know, from the people you put. It's
absolutely yes.
Which, by the way, if you love that, there's more of that coming too with the Roswell Communal.
That's right. That's right.
Before we get into that, I don't want to go away from 4 Old Broads.
Yeah.
So for I know we've talked about it here, but for folks that haven't seen it yet, give the storyline. Give what the story of 4 Old Broads is.
Okay, am I doing this? Or
You're doing this. You're the director.
I'm the director.
Direct.
Okay.
And go.
So I tell everybody it's very reminiscent of the Golden Girls.
On steroids.
On steroids? Okay.
A modern version, a little bit more modern version of the Golden Girls.
Right, because it's about, you know, their friendship, and it's funny. It's so hilarious. It's a little bit naughty, especially this Beatrice over here. She's the ringleader.
Yeah, I think Chris called it PG-13 the other day.
Absolutely.
And that's probably a good measuring stick for folks.
Absolutely, yes. But they live in this assisted living place called Magnolia Place, and Beatrice, Trisha's character, and another character, Edie, are best friends. They've been there a long time. And there's a new resident, Imogene, and she's having some issues with her memory. And, you know, they're trying to help her and make sure she's okay. And then the 4th old broad is Maud, and she's, I describe her as frumpy and grumpy. She just wants to plan her funeral and watch her soap operas.
Yes.
And
good news is she's passionate about the soap. Like, you know, she has passion just for them.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Alexia and Carlton of her world.
Yes, that's all she has anymore.
She has.
But we won't give all that away. And then Chris plays Sam, and he's the Mr. Casanova at the assisted living and a retired Elvis impersonator.
The resident playboy of the Magnolia, yes.
Yes. And then we've got the 2 nurses, the mean nurse and the nice nurse. So the friends are trying to plan a cruise. They want to go on vacation. And then, you know, poor Imogene is having memory problems. And then there's this whole medicine debacle that they're trying to sort out.
Little mystery.
Yeah.
espionage.
Yes.
We've got some spying to do.
Yeah, all of that going on.
Who are we spying on? I don't know what's happening.
It really is a fun play. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, if you love like the comedy of the Golden Girls or that style of kind of just the just little thing begats a whole episode of other things. It's very much in that vein. It's a fun story. The cast, every one of the people on stage and off stage are funny and just they do a great job with it. The set looks good.
Thank you.
You guys you could tell there's a lot of time and effort into that set. It really looks like you're sitting in the lobby of a nursing home or a living assisted place. You see the TV, you even got like the fire alarms on the walls, things that make it look that
Mike.
way. Yeah.
Thank you for noticing
See,
that.
I noticed all your details.
It's the details.
It's all in the details. All in the details.
But that's so important for you guys, right? Because if you guys are trying to do, especially like this one's a little easier because it's like a modern times thing.
Right.
But if you guys are doing plays set in an older time period or something, and the set doesn't really match that, you lose the story a little bit. It's hard to follow the story and let your imagination wander when you're doing a World War II thing and it looks like you're standing in a living room from the 1990s.
Right.
It looks different.
Right.
And so you guys, I would say the set is as much a character as the cast sometimes. Is that
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
So I got since you're new on the talking to us about this play here, how talk about your what got you here, what was, because I mean, like you said, we were talking dialogue. You have an incredible amount of dialogue work in this play. I mean, how do you prepare for that? I mean, is it just reading and doing the thing, or do you have to sacrifice other aspects of the life there to get this done, and the kids and stuff like that, eat Pop-Tarts, things like
that. Cereal for dinner.
I mean, kind of, what was that experience for you?
Well, my husband's very supportive.
Good.
At times. Love that man. He will run lines with me. He'll cook dinner for himself when I'm not home, which usually consists of reheating leftovers.
Do you cook for you too? I mean,
he does. He'll save me some, so I'll have something to eat when I get home.
Very nice.
So the way I prepare is there is an app online that I download, and you can record everybody's lines, including yours.
Okay.
And then I'll listen to it at night while I'm sleeping, kind of, learning lines by
osmosis,
osmosis.
Right.
Did it help? I mean,
it does. It absolutely does help. And then I have friends come over. We do line learning parties.
Okay.
One of my friends who's kind of helping out in the lobby area, she's been over a lot helping. Dan, our stage manager, has helped me a lot. He and I work together outside of the theater.
Sure.
I call him my work husband. So I just do it every day.
Sure.
I run the lines every day.
And I imagine you and the rest of the cast, Chris is here with you. I mean, that helps too, because y'all feed off each other and it helps you remember things.
Yes. Several of the castmates and I got together and we'll run them outside of the theater. And that's helpful as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what's the old saying, like how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. I imagine at the end of the day, it's a little of that. Yeah, you look at the big picture like, man, this is an insurmountable amount of work and things I got to do. But as you get into it, you do a little bit here, you get more comfortable. I would imagine now that you got a weekend of performances under your belt, it definitely feels like you've done it for real 3 times now. And
amazingly. They've done it amazingly.
And so I would imagine now it's the balance of remember what we do, but don't get overconfident. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Absolutely.
Because the moment you get in automatic pilot mode is the moment everything gets screwed up. You know what I mean? So imagine maybe this weekend's a little bit, all right, we got to, do this like it's the first time we did it, do it, because comfort's a good thing, but comfort can be a bad thing too sometimes.
Yes, and it's still good to get those butterflies right before you go on.
Yeah, that fuels that desire to do that performance spot on.
I have a little ritual I do every time before we go on stage.
Yes,
okay.
Same.
All right, now we're
channeling my energy.
That's right.
All right, now we're getting into ritual stuff and superstitions. So
Hey,
I
it's
gotta,
like baseball players that don't wash their socks when they're on a winning streak. Okay,
You know, it's the
I
theater
do
is
wash
similar.
my clothes though.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
not part of my
your thing,
ritual.
is that you're not wearing those socks now. Well, I used to play hockey when I was younger.
So you get it.
I did the same thing. I was a goalie to boot.
Oh.
They're just straight up nuts. That's what they are. But yeah, I had to put on my leg pads a certain way. Like when I went out to the goal and I had my hockey stick, I had to hit the goalposts a certain way. Like I had a boom, boom, boom. Like it was a whole ritual. And if I did that
OCD
wrong,
thing, isn't it?
yeah, it is. I got a hint. I'm like not full blown OCD. I got little lapses of moments.
I think
where
we relate to that, don't we?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Somewhat.
Did I call you out? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I'm selective OCD. Like certain moments
Right.
it comes in, and others something doesn't bother. Some moments I look at, I don't care.
Right.
Other moments I'm like, I want to pull my teeth out with this thing. And just, oh yeah. Anyway, so but yeah, I get that ritual. So I'm curious, what's family friendly here? But I mean, it's I mean, what do you got to have happen to make the performance go good? I'm curious. And I got to know, you all said it. I do too.
Oh, man.
I'm putting all y'all on the spot.
What?
I want to know.
Man!
I shared
Go
mine.
ahead. Go ahead.
So I'll stand there, plant my feet, and just start swinging my hands back and forth like I'm running in place, but my feet aren't moving.
Okay, I got you.
And then I just start making my arms get wider and wider and wider until I'm like full blown helicopter mode.
I get you.
And then I'll start moving back and forth.
To be honest, I get it. That makes
It's
sense
just
to me.
channeling my energy.
Yeah, you're kind of waking the body up. You're putting yourself in that mode, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to put Trish down for a little bit here and be this character for the next 2 hours. You know, and I get that. I understand that completely.
And then I got to go by and do the fist bumps or high fives with everybody.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do break a leg.
Yes.
And we do the break.
Yes.
I've been a
break
part
a
of
leg.
that. I've been a part of that.
That's right, Mr.
Yes,
Grinch.
you
You have.
I've
Yes.
participated in a break a leg or two.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Denise, now what's your...
Okay.
Now, is it the same as a director versus an actor, or is it different?
It's different.
Okay.
So, as an actor, Gina, she plays the mean nurse in our play.
Yes.
She and I have been in a lot of plays together. We both started at the same time in Small Talk, which was the first play at our new building.
I got you. Okay.
And so we've been in numerous plays over the last 10 years. And so we have a little thing that we do each time before we go on, and we just like pump each other up, and then and off we go.
So it's kind of like a little mantra or kind of like a high five, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, okay, I
And
got you.
people who haven't seen us do it before are like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "No, it's just we have to do it. Just never mind." And then like if I'm going on, kind of like what Trisha said, I'll stand backstage before I'm supposed to go on, and I just kind of like, like deep breath and like shake it out, and then go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as a director, opening night, I just like run around worrying.
Gotcha.
That's my ritual.
Scrambling, getting up in everybody's business. And
I'm
they're
like, are we good? Are we good? Are we okay? Is everybody good? Is everybody here? Has everybody had makeup? Are we okay? You got your costumes? You got your props? Yeah.
I would imagine, because at the end of the day, I mean, once the play starts, you just got to sit back and watch and hope everything works out. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
leading up
there's
to it
really
makes
nothing I can do.
But
once
as director, the show's on. Your job is done. It's just a matter of watching it and doing. Because I noticed I saw Kurt and Kirk back there behind me watching the show. And,
Yes.
And they were laughing just loud as I was.
That's right. And we've seen it many, many times, and it's still funny. It is still funny. But yeah, Kirk and I will sit back there, and there was, I'm going to tell on y'all. There was one incident, was it Sunday or Saturday? I can't remember.
I'm not sure which incident you are referring to, ma'am.
I not know of which you speak.
There might be multiple incidents.
Okay. Well, Trisha said one line, and it was...
Oh, yes.
Oh, we know. Now we know, see? And that was a cue line for Chris's character to come out.
Okay.
But we were like a page and a half early for that line.
Oh, okay.
And so, as Kirk and I are sitting in the back when something like that happens, we go, and like, oh,
right.
What are we going to do?
Things start clenching.
Yes.
Yes, I get that.
And we're like, so Chris walks out because he hears his cue line. So here he comes, shuffling out, little old man, and he stops. And Trisha realizes, oh no, we have to do this. So she goes back
I ignored him completely.
Nice.
And it
Didn't even look at him.
Which that sounds about right, getting get ignored. Yeah.
And then Chris was so great. He totally played it off. He like looked around and was like, "Meh," and turns around and walks back out. We were all like, "Whew, okay, we're good."
Welcome to live theater.
Right?
Exactly.
But you know what? And it probably got some laughs and things that
Right.
people just thought that was part of the performance,
Like,
and it was.
poor little old man lost. He gotta go.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. It's 4 old broads and an old dude. I mean, senility.
Right.
Anytime you screw up, just chalk it up to senility.
Stay in character, y'all. Just stay in character.
You don't know, just out of the blue. Where's my shoes? You're good to go.
That worked for
Actually, we're
Ashley.
trying to remember a line. That's all part of the act.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Chris, you're not off the hook either.
Okay.
What's your pre-show ritual?
So I have a couple weird ones. One of them is the day of the opening performance, I have to get to the theater way before everybody else. Like I usually go at like 3:00 in the afternoon and call time 6. I like to go to the theater when nobody's there. I go in, turn on all the lights, turn everything on, and then I just go in and lay down in the green room and try to take a little nap.
Okay.
And it's like my little calming thing. I put some music on. And
Your moment of zen.
And then before I go on stage, I pace. That's my thing, is like I find a little spot about 10 foot where I can just walk back and forth, and I just pace back and forth and kind of like go over my scene in my head.
Let's say you're kind of replaying everything in your head as you're pacing.
Exactly. And that's kind of my thing, is that's my pacing ritual.
Sure.
Is what I do, is I just kind of, just walk back and forth really fast.
I get that, because I'm a pacer too a little bit when I'm about to do stuff. And it's not so much the pacing. I'm just in my zone, and it's the nervous energy, or I don't know what you would call it. It's just kind of your brain's in another place, and your body's like, I'll just do this till you come back to me here.
Right.
I get that. So, but folks, I really would love to see. Come on out this way. I'm telling you.
We have gotten some great reviews from audience members, because we line up in the lobby, and greet everybody after the show. And we've had people, I had a lady told me she hadn't laughed that hard in years. Friends of ours from the Carlsbad Theater came up this past weekend.
I heard a little bit about that. You got some fellow actors.
Thespians.
Yes, fellow thespians, yes. And they complimented us. They said it was cast really well, that the timing was great. And that it was just hilarious. So,
do you get some jealous, like community theater people from out of town come through from time to time? Because really, the Roswell Community Theater and that theater you have, that's a unique thing for a lot of community theaters. They don't have that.
We do have a great facility. Absolutely.
So I kind of wonder if they walk in, it's like, man, I wish we had something, because I know, like and I know this because I did the morning show in Artesia. They have the Ocotillo. It's a beautiful facility and everything, but it's not the community theaters. It's the Arts Council. There's shows that are going on all the time there, or was pre-COVID, but it's not just for the community little theater. So it's not theirs to store, to keep everything, where you guys have your own building and theater, and to be honest, if you ever get a chance, go do a tour back behind there. There's so props, costumes. It's really a huge inventory of. I mean, it's probably, you could almost make it a little museum sometime. I bet. If you start rummaging through the stuff y'all got back there, you know what I mean?
Hidden treasures back there.
Yeah, and you guys just collect things, as you need them, because you never know. It might be some plays where, we need some stuff that looks like from the 30s, 40s. Well, we got it back here, or we know a connection, or we're going to have a military thing, so we need more uniforms and things like that. Oh, we got them back here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's something a community theater not always have that ability, and you guys have that. And I was just curious if, like, some of the other, I know you had Chris was telling me a group actually traveling out of town. Where were they from, Chris?
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah. And you were like, hey, we'll come see our play, and they loved it and everything. But I didn't know if they ever say, like, man, you guys have do you ever hear that kind of stuff, like facility and uniqueness of that?
Yes, our Carlsbad friends have told us, wow, this is a great facility, and we are very fortunate that we have that. Yeah. And as you said, jealousy, I don't think it jealousy so much.
Okay.
They, just like, wow, this is really great.
Sure.
And I mean, we've gone there to their building, and we appreciate,
Sure.
they've got a great stage and stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, we just want to support each other.
Absolutely.
So.
Speaking of, it's awesome that they have this, but there's a lot of responsibility and obligation when you have things like that. So therefore, coming out and seeing the plays and enjoying all this stuff, and this is why I'd love to have you come again. Right now, they're paying for a new roof. That roof of that facility needs to be replaced.
Yes.
The beauty of having your own place, you get to do what you want, but the beauty of having your own place, you got to pay for it too.
Right, you got to fix it all.
We have several fundraisers going on.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like so, we had the John Denver tribute just a couple weeks ago. The Swearingen and Kelly, the Sarman Garfunkel last fall. But all these shows you guys are going to and stuff, that money generated is going to help pay for a new roof there.
Absolutely.
Tonight we have the immersive dinner. It is sold out, so
Okay.
I can't really promote that, but
Gotcha, but-
next immersive dinner will be Clue.
Okay.
But basically, an immersive dinner, it's catered from a local restaurant. And you
And it's
get
like the night before.
It's usually the director picks the night. You get to have dinner on stage. The characters are still in, the cast is still in characters, and they'll serve you their meal. And
Do we want this cast to serve us food?
yes, it'll
No,
be
fair.
funny.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just
they're
saying, I've seen-
hilarious.
We sold out. So apparently people do.
I'm just saying they barely remember pills and things. I'm just saying, I don't know. You want
And the nurses will be there.
Right,
they're going to be on task. You're on task.
For some reason, I'm still required to social distance 6 feet from all females. I'm not sure why. But
Well, that would be your character, Mr. Casanova. Yes. But I think Elvis might be there at the dinner.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Oh, y'all give him a bad rap. He's a pretty nice guy. Isn't
Oh,
he?
yeah, he is.
He's more patient than I would have been.
He must really love Imogen.
I'm thinking there's got to be love there. That's all I'm saying. But absolutely. So but speaking of Clue, I got you guys here. Auditions, and everything are coming up for that, right? That's
Yes.
right around the corner.
Yes, auditions for Clue will be March 7th and 8th.
Okay.
What do we know?
Tuesday.
That'd be Monday, Tuesday next week.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it's 6 or 6:30. Do we know what?
Say 6 just to be safe.
Let's say 6.
Yeah, you get there early and you hang out for a little bit. You get to learn what the
Right,
communal theater
absolutely.
does. So.
Kathy Cook is the director for that play.
Okay.
So we're very excited.
And that's a pretty large cast, right, for that one? How many of you guys are going to need? Do you know off the top of your head? Or I mean, she does. I'm
Mike,
sure.
I direct 4 Old Broads.
I know you're like, but I'm just trying to think of like
I think it's 9.
the game Clue and all the Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum. I'm just trying to think. So it's a pretty big cast.
Yes, it would be a decent sized cast.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you're interested, and I know, look for more. We'll talk more about that as we get.
Yeah,
to it.
absolutely.
But if you're interested in becoming a part of the communal theater, want to help out, even if you're not necessarily ready to be on stage,
We always need
there's
help
so
backstage.
many opportunities.
Absolutely.
I know Angela would like to have other people know sound and lighting, so she doesn't be the one of the only few people that can do it.
That is my next project. Because that is one aspect I don't know very well, and so I want to try to figure out sound and light
Sure.
so that I can help with that too.
So if you love that kind of stuff and you're like, well, I'm a little nervous about talking and singing, but I love technical or I love to create, then guess what? There's lots of roles for you
Absolutely.
here. Chris could probably use some help with the sets and things like that.
Yes.
Costuming is always.
They don't let me have the power tools, so.
So if you love doing that if you love building things and your family's tired of you remodeling the thing for 37th time, come on down and we get to help you build sets or even if you're just an organizer, wrangler, they always need help, behind stage helping with getting people in costume or getting people in their proper spots for placement and it's a whole I say this every time, but what you see on stage is kind of the calm in the storm. The real storm's behind there. People scurrying back and forth,
100%.
Jumping in and out of costumes, getting in their
Absolutely.
places, making sure that they're set up for the next scene. That's kind of
Yes. In fact, our bingo ladies, we're so thankful for them because they really add to that scene.
Yeah.
But then also they help our 4 Old Broads because you're right. They have quick changes.
Yeah.
And so they're back there helping them get in and out of costumes and be ready to go again.
Yeah.
So.
And contrary to popular belief, it's not like fake costumes, they're not all breakaway pants and all. You know what I mean?
No. There are real clothes.
It's not like those clothes you go to like Disney World to get your photo with and like old timey clothes or something.
No.
And it's that bib thing and then you put a coat on.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is just asking for trouble if you'd wear that on stage. So we don't do that.
It's real costumes.
Yes.
And in some cases, they got maybe a minute to get in and out of it into the next thing here.
Yes, yes.
So they got to prepare for that. So if you love to get involved that way, that's all. Or even just help out, like night of show, taking tickets, or helping out at the raffles or the concession area.
Absolutely.
All of those things are vital roles to the community little theater and being a part of that. And of course, becoming a member, I'm sure you have a great board, but always looking probably for new folks to come in. And, some people get tired of doing that after a while, and we need some new folks to come fill the voids when that happens. So if you're interested.
And bring ideas. We're always up for new ideas.
And I hate to bring it up, but we are always looking for sponsors. Our theater, we are completely self-supported, so we are always looking for businesses, individuals who are willing to help out with shows. We are really lucky with this show. I'll let
say you guys had some great support from community businesses on this one.
Absolutely. We went and talked with Anderson Bethany. They have been incredibly generous to us numerous times. We're so grateful for them. And given that one of our characters is so obsessed with planning her funeral, I thought, hey!
Right?
So we went and spoke with them and, did our little commercial that we put on Facebook with our character Maud and Anderson Bethany, and they were so great and, very generous. And Blair's Trading Post has been amazing to us as well.
They've helped you quite a few times. Yeah.
They have, yes. They, will loan us furniture or set pieces.
They're a collector of things, and you guys are a collector of things too, but they have a lot of things that come through and go through, and so from time to time you're like, hey, we need, I think, like doors. Wasn't they help you out with doors in your last play? I mean, how many people have a bunch of doors lying around?
Honestly, right?
Yeah.
But I know when we were looking, to dress the set, which is, all the little details, Kirk and I went out there and we were hunting magnolia pictures, to hang up on the walls.
Something appropriate that look good.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and they were just great to us out there. We got a few pictures, some swan pictures, and our magnolias and a table and a cart. And I think, they really helped us out a lot.
Awesome.
And then also walker and wheelchair. They help with Sam's cane and some hose for the oxygen, for imaging.
You guys need some medical equipment for the play, and no one had an oxygen tank or wheelchair or cane to lie around.
Hey, friends over here, but
my oxygen tank.
The extra hose and the cane for Chris's character, we really appreciate the local support from different businesses. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and I know constantly there's business. Berkshire Hathaway is a constant helper of donating things and stuff like that. So they have some great businesses that are part of it. But if you'd like to help out, and you guys help out with them and advertising and things. But the real help is you guys, the sponsors coming in and supporting, because this really. And I'll tell you this. Because the community little theater, we talk about these plays and things, but it really is so much more than that. The kids' arts program, the CAPS program, that's all part of this too. So it's as much education as it is entertainment. And we want, and so by you sponsoring these plays and all that, you're actually helping all that. You're helping, bring more recognition to the CAPS program, allowing more for that to happen, so they can do that. Allow for more plays and more things to happen here. Fixing that roof so we can continue to do more plays and a lot of stuff. That building's also, you guys let churches, other groups, do things in there too. So it's not just like it's just the community little theater that utilizes that building. There's some great organizations and things that you guys let also share that space with you.
Right. And we have also started partnering with a local artist here in town, Seglinda Shue, and she does a paint party once a month there in our lobby, and that's great, you know. And what was really great about that is we had our last one was this past Saturday in the afternoon, and so we were there, we were painting, and I was totally talking up, hey, go get dinner, come back for 4 Old Broads. And we did. We had about 5 or 6 people from the paint party, never been to the theater before.
Nice.
Came to the play, and they loved it.
Did they get dinner first, or did they? No,
yeah.
Bring me something?
No. Thankfully, my assistant director, my cast, they keep me fed. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
When I've done the Santa's talent search a couple times, and food is usually not a problem. I walk back, there's like 80 pounds of food that kids are going.
There's pizza, sandwiches.
And I look at it like, I'm all green. I can't eat that.
Well, you don't want hungry actors.
That's true.
No.
This is true. This is very true. But, again, don't forget, everybody, this is the final weekend to go see 4 Old Broads. This Friday night and Saturday night, those are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then the 2:30 matinee this Sunday.
Yes.
Get advance tickets. That way you're guaranteed. You don't ain't got to worry about oh, we're going to have enough seats and all that. Don't guarantee. So to ease your mind of that, go to RoswellTheater.com. Make sure you spell theater Theatre, and then get your tickets there. And I would say hang out a little bit. Look and read about some of the upcoming things, the Kids Arts Program. Learn more about what the Community Little Theater is all about. You'll find it through that website. And hopefully you're reading stuff you like, and you say, you know what, I'd like to do some stuff with them too.
Yes.
Reach out and do that.
I will say our CAPS program is amazing. My daughter started with that when she was 6 years old, and she's very, she's grown up in the theater, and she's actually working with Angela in Sound and Lights for this show.
So, because they learn all aspects of theater and things. And, and I know one of my other things I'm involved with is the Historical Society, and we've done a couple things with the CAPS program there.
Yes.
Graveside Manor is kind of the one of the CAPS program's one more publicly noted events that they do, but they do others. But that one's kind of one that the public knows about a little bit, and we've partnered with them to the Historical Society on very similar type events too. So yeah, it's great. The kids are there. The Strange family. That's the ones we kind of do.
Yes.
I'm not making a joke. Their name is Strange. Okay?
Right.
Wow, that's kind of rude. Call them Strange. No, that's their name.
It's okay. It's all right.
They're well aware. Very good. Well, we're about out of time here. Is there anything we wanted to mention that we've skipped over?
We do have the big annual fundraiser coming up August 6th, which is Curtains Rising. Ticket prices are to be determined.
Okay.
But there'll be more information coming out about that shortly.
We got a little bit of time between now and then, so we'll get everybody in.
Hey, maybe we can come back.
Maybe.
Hey.
Think about it.
Love you too, Mike.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to see you multiple times between now and August, I'm thinking.
We would hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we got Clue in between.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of a big deal. And I've heard that you guys want to kind of...
For the American people.
To which Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia responded,
for the sake of humankind, this is not right. And for us to think it might be an inconvenience?
A bipartisan bill to halt Russian oil imports is in the works on Capitol Hill. Mike Gracia, Washington.
The Russians now control Europe's largest nuclear power plant after targeting it with artillery shells. International monitors and Ukrainian officials saying there was no release of radiation. They say the 6 reactors are secure. Police in Anderson, Northern California, got a call to investigate.
A single vehicle into a preschool, into a building. When we arrived on scene, there were numerous children inside of the building, and some were trapped and injured.
Police Chief John Pileski saying all are expected to recover from minor injuries. Also expected to recover 2 Chicago police officers. They were shot early this morning, and a suspect is under arrest. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 277 points, the NASDAQ off 118. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
2 big names in Japanese electronics and autos are teaming up to make an electric vehicle together.
Sony and Honda say they've agreed to set up a joint venture this year to start selling an electric vehicle by 2025. The plan is to pair Honda's expertise in mobility development, technology, and sales with Sony's imaging, telecommunications, network, and entertainment expertise. A union of traditionally different manufacturing businesses is uncommon for Japan, but it makes sense in the age of electric vehicles.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. China's 3,000-member ceremonial parliament opens its annual session tomorrow. The communist regime facing a slowing economy, along with international pressure over its refusal to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. News and analysis at townhall.com. Cost of borrowing for a home down again this week.
The rates remain at historically low levels, just as the Federal Reserve prepares to raise its main borrowing rate. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year loan declined to 3.76% this week, from 3.89% last week. A year ago, it was at 3.02%. The average rate on 15-year fixed-rate mortgages fell to 3.01% from 3.14%. It stood at 2.34% a year ago. John Scott reporting.
The Labor Department releasing the February jobs report this morning. It shows that America's employers added a surprising number of jobs, 678,000 in all. The unemployment rate has fallen to a two-year low of 3.8%. Again on Wall Street, the S&P down 45 points and NASDAQ off 138. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We made it to Friday.
Yep.
Feels good inside. I know it's been a long week for me and many.
Oh, yeah.
But
this has been a heck of a week. I think about all the stuff that was crammed into 1 week.
Yeah, Monday feels like a month ago to me.
Yeah, but we had a different mayor on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
got a war.
Yeah, parts of Ukraine were still in Ukraine on Monday. It just
what's happened in a week, hasn't it?
The tournament went down. I mean, a lot of sports stuff happening. Baseball season started. It's just golly.
By the way, speaking of sports, don't forget we will have playoff high school basketball for you tonight and tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Goddard Rocket boys and girls are both advancing in the playoffs here. The Lady Rockets will play tonight at 6 p.m.
Right.
And I believe they take on Moriarty, if I remember right.
Are we sure it's girls tonight? I think it was
girls tonight, boys tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah.
Girls tonight, they're at 6 p.m. And then tomorrow night, the Goddard boys will not host, they're traveling, taking on their playoff matchup.
Albuquerque Academy.
Yes. And that's at 5 p.m.
Yes.
They are playoff games. We do not have video rights, so they are radio-only broadcasts right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Scott Galletti.
Yes.
Wonderful broadcaster. He's going to be calling both games for us up north. Again, tonight for the girls, tomorrow night for the boys.
I always wonder if guys like that who have just like that perfect radio presence, if they just live that in everyday life. And I know, like, I've known people who have that before, and they kind of do.
I think with Scott Galletti, and I wouldn't call him like buddies or nothing. We don't, but I've known him for several years and talked to him many times and things. He's a good guy. But based on what I think, yeah, he's a guy that grew up probably watching and listening to sports his whole life and loves sports. And he's I don't quote me on this. I think he's originally from California.
Okay.
And he was called because he came to New Mexico through college sports.
He's got the non-regionalized dialect down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect, spot on.
Well, he calls college sports and things, and I think he came to New Mexico because with a contract calling UNM games and things, and of course that all ended. But yeah, I don't know. Every time I hear him, all I think of, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, football, baseball, basketball, whatever he's calling, doesn't matter. All I think of is like ESPN Sunday Night Baseball when I hear him.
Right.
To me, he just has that voice that sounds like the guy calling ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And it sounds amazing.
What I wonder is, though, do you think after like a long day, he comes home, he hangs his coat up on the rack and his hat up on the hat rack, and he says, "Honey, how you doing today? Just want to see if dinner's ready. Are we having chickpeas tonight? Good to hear. Lowing outside for 3-0."
To be honest, I think his wife comes with him sometimes and helps out from time to, like when he travels to do games and things. I think wife comes with him and sometimes helps him at the broadcast.
Okay. You're not following my scenario. Does he take that dialect, the way he is,
does he talk like
into
that?
everyday life? That's what I'm asking. Like, do you think he goes in, like, he has a court date. He's like, Your Honor, I got to tell you, I was going a little fast through that stop sign. I didn't see it. Low and outside, 3-0.
I was a bit outside of my head that day.
It was a beautiful Tuesday. Sun was shining, grass is green, and I was thinking about the last line drive. Low and outside.
Maybe he does.
Like, I always hope that people who who talk like that go out into the world, like right before they go out and like they know they're gonna have to talk to somebody, they go, "Hello, 1 2 1 2," and that is a direct rib at someone who used to do that, who I know isn't listening, but if he is, hi.
Yeah, there's things that we do.
I was a rib with love, okay? Just for those who I know are listening, who know this person, might get back to him.
Well, and I think it's a technology thing, because technology, in every aspect of life, radio too has changed. And back in the day when things weren't as digital and all of that, things like 1 2 were relevant and important. Not so much.
I mean,
today.
I still have to check my mic before I do remote.
Sure,
so.
but I really don't do it like that, right? Seconds before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, it's just different. It's just different. And I don't know. I just, things that we do, and even I do them sometimes, and I'm like, why am I doing that? It's just habit.
You know what?
Or it's your brain and automatic pilot mode because you've been doing it that way.
Part of it's habit, and the other part of it is just, it's comfortable to do it that way. I'll give you a prime example.
Sure.
This right here, everybody, this hand, this is the hand I am comfortable working my board with. This is the hand that I work my computer with. So more often than not, you will see me doing this.
Yeah.
Often, in my studio. I can work my mouse with this hand, I can work my keyboard with this hand, and I work my board with this hand.
Gotcha.
So I'm crossing cat constantly. But that's my comfort,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's also made it to where I can easily get things out of this pocket with this hand. Super impressive when you're like standing next to the car and you got a baby in one hand. You know?
But he still stores his phone in his fat wrinkle.
I do. I'm not saying that all my habits are good, all right? Hell of a callback there, Winners.
Just saying. You were talking about earlier how you keep breaking your phone, and now you're talking about how amazing you are with your dexterity.
It's like having an extra hand.
I don't want to ever touch that alien again, by the way.
I just put him on my lap,
dude. You tainted that alien.
You tainted him. He's tainted.
I kid, of course.
His face is away.
Look at shame. You've been violated.
He does look sadder than he did before.
He's a victim now. You made him a victim.
It's like, I've been to other galaxies, and even I wasn't ready for that. He went to the dark side of the Sean.
Oh, man. He's like, my whole day I never thought I'd be put there. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you to McDonald's.
Yes, I think that's really what we're trying to say.
Every Friday, they provide us with delicious breakfast treats, and we thank them for doing that. If you are hungry,
who couldn't be after that?
Right? You should be. And swing on by any of your McDonald's, including the brand new South Main McDonald's, which just opened up here about a week or so ago. Ready to serve you. Or in the terms of Ghostbusters, they're ready to believe you. Come on by and download the app for the McDonald's. I love that thing. It's very handy, very convenient, and you kind of feel like you're like in an insider's club where you get deals that the general non-app using public don't get to be a part of. So
I'll tell you this: if you've been to the South Main McDonald's before, at the old location,
I have,
and this is your first time going to the new location, just get ready.
All right, so I haven't been into the South Main yet.
Well, I haven't been inside. I've been through the drive-through.
Okay.
It is so much bigger than it even looks from the street.
Yeah.
And it's so much bigger than you remember. Like there are only a few things in life that make me feel my place in the universe, like how small I actually am. And when I'm in my car next to that McDonald's, I truly feel like that big.
Okay.
It's like, I really am nothing in the grand scheme of the universe. So you really want to feel like nothing existentially? Head over to McDonald's, South Main.
Well, that was a ringing endorsement.
It was, literally.
Literally. But, swing on by. That's a beautiful facility. Come on by. Get hungry and get you eat on. Are they still doing the
hacks?
The hacks?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So,
far as I've seen on the menus, at least they are.
So give a hack a try. Or make your own hack.
If not, you know what? Now we know the secrets. They went ahead and open Pandora's box. We know how to make the crunchy double. All you gotta do is get yourself a six piece, and a barbecue sauce pack, and a double cheeseburger, and you can make yourself a crunchy double.
There you go. Yep. I think let's try it all. And I'd like to see more breakfast hacks.
Yeah,
I know we've had a couple.
I feel like the next run is going to be a lot of breakfast hacks.
Like I want to see a lot of big breakfast mixed with other sandwiches and things. I want to see. I think that the hot cakes.
I'll tell you what we need to do
are a game changer for hackings.
They need to make the big breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
Wherein because you get your hot cakes, right? Your big breakfast with your hot cakes, your sausage, your egg. So basically, it's just the whole thing made into a sandwich. Your pancakes or your bun.
I'm be down with that.
It's basically a McGriddle, but you manufacture it from the big breakfast.
But it'd be different because the eggs are different that you use. Obviously a hot cake's different than a McGriddle.
Than a McGriddle patty, yeah.
Sausage probably the same, and the hash brown's the same. But I'd be down, and then just slather some or dip it maybe in the syrup.
Ooh.
I'm not sure which. I think this is probably not a very good car eating vessel sandwich. This might be a sit downer.
Okay, now here is where I'm going to change your life.
Okay.
Okay. Anything that you can eat in the car that you can eat that is dippable, it is a super simple solution. You just take a little shot. Take a bite.
Oh, okay.
Take a little shot. A little shot of sauce. Just a little. Just a
I don't
little
know.
bit of sauce. That's all you got to do.
Well, that still requires two hands.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it does if you're holding a pancake sandwich.
Okay. So what you do? You got your pancake sandwich, right? Right. Okay. I'm trying to logisticize this.
Anyway,
with my
you got to
car.
have something on the wheel here, a digit of some kind.
You got your beverage. I'm gonna just say large orange juice. Okay. It's sitting in your cup holder.
Yes.
The rim of the cup holds your syrup cup. Okay. So then you, in your other cup holder, have, let's say like a fries box or something like that. You slide your pancake roll up into the holder. Take your syrup sauce out. So bite, drop, grab, sip, hand on one wheel the whole time. You're good.
Sounds safe.
You never have to break focus. No, it's totally safe. Yeah.
I just thought of something while you were talking about this whole. Let's face it, that's a lot of work to eat.
It is.
While driving.
It is.
Yeah, you got like companies like WeatherTech.
Right.
That design everything and liners for this, and now they're like taking you to the house and giving you all these liners. Why hasn't anybody invented like a food serving vehicle?
The Smalls Tech gravy liner. Gravy liners. That's what we need, folks. It stops the gravy from entering your seat cushions.
Yeah. Now, I know they tell people all the time, don't eat and drive. Certainly don't text and drive. And I agree with those statements.
Right.
I eat and drive all the time. But I'm
Mike's like, and for that matter, how come there's not a place to store a cold six-pack right there in the passenger seat? It's ludicrous.
And why can't I get something to shoot the heroin right into me?
Just right in for me, so I never have to break the hand off the wheel.
I mean, I get that a little bit.
The kid's got to get to school, right?
But let's face it. Every single person on the planet has chowed down on something in their car.
Of course.
That's a driving,
It's the unwritten, we say, we don't do it, but we all do it.
We're going to do it anyway. Why can't we invent something that makes that possible? I don't know if it's a tray of some kind that allows these things to, or a vessel that holds or designed one of these mats or something that makes... Like it's designed to hold fast food things. I don't know, but I feel like WeatherTech should work on something here.
If you look at what we have in our hands right here, and the fact that when you're watching something this way and you just immediately flip it this way, it'll go to the right mode because it's got a gyroscope in here.
Yeah.
Gyroscope technology has advanced so much that we could fit several gyroscopes in just this little thing. Why can't we have a gyroscopic tray for your car that no matter how many bumps and whatevers you hit, it stays steady.
Yeah. I think we could do that.
Come on, NASA.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
All this so I can get
right here.
Fries in my mouth while driving.
That's right. This is for us. We're trying to stay safe out there.
Let's get Elon Musk on this.
That's right. Get the NHTSB on it, and like with their seal of approval, the National Highway Transportation Safety Board, as long as they put a seal of approval and a stamp on it, we're good to go.
Same.
Yep.
I'm telling you, maybe we need to get the fast food industry to work with WeatherTech and say, hey, we all do it. Let's find a way to do it safely.
Okay, now I feel like we're entering less of a tray game and more of a trough game.
I don't know. I don't know that
WeatherTech deals in.
I'm not the big head that can figure this out.
They're less in the holding of the thing, more in the prevention of the thing from becoming a nuisance and a mess in your vehicle. Like, so I would imagine this would WeatherTech would be good for dropping food out. But I think we need to get like 3M involved. I feel like they're the ones with the technology that, or Command. Ooh, let's get the Command people on there on this. Put a couple of those hooks in your car, the little silicone sticky hooks.
Well, I'm wondering. I mean, and I don't even know if it's a trough thing or maybe it's like a slide.
You know what we need? Do you remember back in the day when you'd go to, I'm just going to say Sonic, because that's the one that comes to mind. They would give you a tray that would hook onto your window.
Yeah, like the old school
car hop
roller
trays.
skate car hop. Yeah.
We need something like that, but on the inside.
Kind of like
so that because obviously if you're doing this, you're single, you're sad, you're lonely, you have an open passenger seat.
But I think those were designed for you to sit there and eat it while you're there, not to leave with it.
Sure. No, I understand.
I saw Flintstones, and you know how they put the brontosaurus whatever, and it took the whole car over in that tray.
But I'm saying if we had that on the inside, so that while you're driving, you have got your tray right here in the passenger seat, because obviously, like I said, you're lonely, sad, and depressed. Eating by yourself in your car.
Yeah, because
you've got an open passenger seat.
Because in theory, if you have a second person, they're supposed to
feed it to you.
Yeah, serve as your navigator / food handler.
Yeah, I don't care if it's your brother. He's supposed to literally put fries in your dumb mouth.
Yeah.
While you have you're
like
attending
when
to
we
them.
drive, like say travel.
Yep.
And we go through a drive-through or something, and then we're on the road again. My wife is usually unwrapping the burger and put it in perfect, and vice versa. If she's driving, I do the same.
That is,
that
is one thing I do miss about having the navigator. But that having been said, when you got your open seat, you've got a whole tray table right here. You just got to set your tray down in the seat.
Oh, I
itself.
know. I do it.
and then you got all kinds of freedom. Yeah.
But I don't know. Something that keeps the eyes on the road and your hand. At least the hand on the wheel.
Robot arm. That's what we need, a robot arm to feed me French fries.
I would like that. Something that comes out the dashboard and holds the burger for you. Where you just go, arr.
It's just a stationary hand that sticks out.
Now we're talking. Now there's some science I can get behind here.
This is a delicious drive.
Yeah. And we need to train
All right, McDonald's R&D, make it happen.
And we need to train the arm to go back in the bag, because like when you finish the burger, you're like, well, now I want my fries. And so it goes down and grabs the fries for you while you're driving. A robot arm.
We do not have that technology, sir.
Get it. We put a man on the moon. We can figure this out. Rubbermaid, WeatherTech. Elon Musk, I don't care who it is. Let's get this figured out. Serve me foods with a robot arm while I'm driving. All right. Maybe we'll ask Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She's going to be joining us here about 8:30 or so. She's scheduled to call in and chit-chat with us here. So, man, we'll talk with her this hour. Also, we'll get you up to date with news and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll start off cloudy today, but some sunshine coming back by afternoon. We have low pressure that'll be moving through our area, so the wind will be gusty. No rain with that system, though. Our afternoon high today in the low 80s. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll drop about 10 degrees on our afternoon high tomorrow. Breezy, sunny, and low 70s. Upper 60s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 54 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds are out of the, where they go? Oh, they're calm at the moment. That's kind of unusual. That will change. Today's supposed to get windy, but that will change. We are looking at a fire red flag warning. We got all because of the fire risks and the wind and low humidity and all that. But we're looking at partly cloudy through mid-morning. We're starting to see that clouds burn off now. It's becoming sunny. It's going to be warm today. We're looking at a high of 82, but the winds are coming with it. Southwest winds this morning, 5 to 15, but later today, those are going to pick up 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour later this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 41. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest, 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 35. That will decrease down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Looking at the weekend on Saturday, sunny and 72 tomorrow with southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 33, southwest winds 5 to 15. Sunday, a little cooler, sunny, 68. Winds will be back, though. Southwest winds 10 to 15 early, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Sunday afternoon. And then breezy Sunday night with an overnight low of 28. And then we'll wake up Monday with a little bit cooler day. Sunny skies, highs around 56. All right, it is 8:26. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Like I said, Congresswoman Yvette Harrell scheduled to call in around 8:30 or so, so we'll have that coming up here in just a little bit. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Sometimes we put off important health needs like surgeries because, well, we worry about the pain and time needed for recovery. Dr. Paul Torres, a board-certified general surgeon, has joined Loveless Healthcare Center and is helping patients in the Roswell area get back to the lives they love with less pain and a faster recovery through advances in minimally invasive surgery. To find out if laparoscopic surgery is the best solution for you, call Loveless and make an appointment today at 575-625-3222.
Celebrate spring break at the Spring River Zoo with one of their exciting day camps. Each day is a separate camp where children will enjoy animal-themed crafts and games, fun educational activities, a guided tour of the zoo, and amazing encounters with the animals for children age 4 through 6. Events will take place March 14th and 15th from 8 a.m. till noon. For children age 7 to 12, themed camps will take place March 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call the Spring River Zoo at 575-624-6750 or visit roswellconnect.org for information and to reserve your ticket.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com. Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Nothing reminds you that spring is right around the
corner than the sounds of baseballs and softballs pinging off the bats. So welcome springtime with ENMU Baseball and Softball this weekend, March 4th through the 6th. ENMU Baseball welcomes in UTPB for a conference showdown Friday at 4, Saturday at 2 and 5, and Sunday at 1. Your Greyhound softball team has their home opening series Friday at 2 against Texas A&M Commerce, and then welcome in UT Tyler Sunday at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Free admission all season long. Visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. ENMU Baseball and Softball, all in.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell. When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, not a faceless national company, but one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Xena Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer, and they specialize in service after the sale. They can handle all of your business and residential alarm and cameras, as well as home theater installation, all with contracts on your terms and all from a local company. The real Xena Security Services, right here in Southeast New Mexico. Call today, 626-3521. Protection with a local touch.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:30, and joining us on the phone this morning, we have Congresswoman Yvette Harrell back with us. Good morning, ma'am. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always glad to have you join us here on the radio this morning. I know a lot's happened since we last spoke. Russia went to war and and everything else here. So a lot's happened since the last time we talked.
It really has. I mean, it's just, between the, what's happening, like you said, over in Russia with the Ukrainians, with the State of the Union, and just, policies that are being introduced, and just all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, never a dull moment for sure.
Absolutely. So let's, before we kind of get into, I want to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that you guys are dealing with. But as far as what's going on in Congress from the Russia perspective, what's some of the things you're seeing coming across your desk, or some of the rumblings they're talking about in Congress there?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest one, and I believe several members of Congress were hoping the president would have addressed this at the State of the Union, is energy independence, Mike. I mean, that is such a key component to not only keeping Americans safe, keeping our country safe and our allies safe, but that is the fastest and easiest way I believe we could have really kind of put a plug in this whole thing. I'm not saying it would have stopped the invasion, but I'm saying we are still buying oil from Russia today. I mean, we are still buying, in fact, we've increased our purchases up to over 300,000 barrels. And what's interesting to me is, I heard Biden say that he wants to tap our reserves, but what I think the American people do not know is our reserves have never been lower than they are right now.
Wow.
And this makes no sense, because we have the ability to be energy independent. We saw that just a year and a half ago.
We were 2 years ago, and now we're not.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And so they keep talking about, the environment and climate and all this, but why is it that we will buy oil from a country that doesn't have the environmental regulations that we have?
Sure.
And yet somehow that's going to, it is such a hypocrisy and so dumb. But really, for me, the biggest thing that I think Congress is talking about is, number one, is definitely oil energy independence, but also looking at the bigger picture, going, look, we need to become oil or energy independent, and let's secure our southern border. Now we have people flowing across the border. We've talked about this so many times, we don't even know who's coming into our country, and yet we continue just to worry about other things that are not as pressing to the American people. You know, people want to know about the cost of gas, prices of food, supplies, the wait times now on supply chains, and all these type of things, and yet we didn't hear any of that from this administration the other night. And while I do appreciate that this administration is working with NATO and they are working together to put some of the sanctions in place, I think there was a bigger hope that we would have talked more about energy.
Yeah, and you know, and you're absolutely right. This is something that, and I think the general public, you know, we see things like, because you know, we hear that you know the pipeline that got closed down, and now they're saying, like you said, we're still buying oil from Russia, and you said, yeah, tap into reserves and all of this, and you're absolutely right that it's turn the pipeline back on, start drilling again. That's an easy fix, and it's all good for America and bad for our enemies right now, and or the people that aren't for us, and so I don't understand why that's not even being considered. That's the part that's, and I'm sure a lot of other people see that, and yourself as well are shaking your head or scratching your head about this.
Well, exactly. And I think a lot of people, I believe this last year has given people an opportunity to really kind of get engaged and see what is going on in terms of policy and coming out of Washington, D.C. And I believe it has been an easy transition to look at the hypocrisy and then understand, you know, like you just mentioned, that executive order that killed the Keystone XL pipeline, you know, the 11,000 jobs with that, and then just chipping away and vilifying our energy industry, you know, no lease sales on federal lands for over a year. I mean, this makes no sense, and it just continues to give the industry itself just the instability of not knowing what this administration is going to do, and how we can even think about, you know, the other night when he said, you know, he wants to give all the government vehicles, he wants them all electric. Well, that's just a great idea, except for the lithium that he needs for those batteries is largely controlled by China. You know, and yet we talk about these things, and yet they still do not seem to understand that child slave labor for these critical minerals, and that is, you know, we're not supportive of that. We've got the ability to do these things, to mine these minerals, hard rock mining, the energy, you know, and liquid natural gas, everything else right here at home. And yet we don't see any movement in this administration to make America stronger.
Sure. Well, and here's the part that, and a matter of fact, I saw, I think you had something on, I saw something on Twitter that I believe you shared maybe yesterday or something like that. And it was basically talking about, look, if people want to get serious about you know, energy here and doing it right, and we talk, you know, because right now it's very partisan, you know, either if you're a liberal, oil and gas is the devil. If you're conservative, it's the savior. And that's, I mean, I'm being very broad here, but that's kind of the ideology of this. And I remember you put a post in saying something to the effect is like, if you're serious about it, let's bring all parties to the table, including Elon Musk, everybody, and start talking. And then I start reading the comments, and you know, that's a dumb idea, but I did it anyway. And
I never read them.
you're wiser for it. But what people are saying, and it's just like, I don't get it. Everyone, do people not realize that in today's world, in a technology we currently live in and everything we have, and I don't see that changing in my lifetime, and who knows, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but technology, I mean, yeah, it's great, all electric and being all this, you know, in concept, in theory, that sounds wonderful. You know, yeah, sure, we love this perfect world where everything gets, but do they not realize that no matter what form of technology used to make clean fuel, oil and gas has a vital role in that. It doesn't, and everything else in your life does. Every piece of plastic matter of fact, the phones and tablets that everyone's complaining about everything on, oil and gas has a part in that too. That's the part that doesn't get me. It's like, you realize you're biting the hand that feeds you because you're being promised or want ideas that really aren't technologically available to us yet. In theory, that's wonderful, you know, or you know, but till you figure out how to make plastic with something that doesn't require petroleum-based products, you're not going to fix anything. And that's and And that's what I'm saying is it all plays a role. And until you can get a car that goes 400 miles on a charge or a tank of gas consistently, you're never going to replace oil and gas with that car. You're just not going to do that.
That's right, and actually, you nailed it. And the demand for energy is not going to go away, and that's what I think is the missing link, if you will. There's some mindset that people have this idea that fossil fuels and energy, as we know it, you and I talk about it, is just such a bad thing. It's just so destructive, and yet they don't even realize how many things have the, like you said, petroleum-based product, whether it's the plastic, clothing, makeup, medical equipment. I mean, it's so many items that we take advantage of every single day.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I think yes, everybody wants clean air, clean water, clean environment, and we've seen our energy industry, our ag industry, and others make huge strides to eliminate, the amount of emissions, et cetera, and to protect our environment. We've done an amazing job in this nation, and yet we are still being vilified. And like you said, and this is what people need to understand: the idea of what they're coming up to, an all green everything. We don't even have the technology. We don't have the capability. We don't have the way to do that. And you still have to have those hard rock minerals, those rare earth minerals, lithium, all these things. You still have to have all of these natural resources to go into making it green. For instance, like the wind towers, the windmills. There's 6,000 pounds of copper in each one of those. That's, there's no way to continue to move the green, move towards a green environment if we don't continue to keep the fossil fuel industry, the natural resources, hard rock mining. That's all playing a vital role.
Sure.
And yet there's, you just can't have all or none. And I think the energy industry, as we know it, we're way willing to have those conversations and advance technology, and so many of our companies have done so. But
sure,
it just makes no sense. And I kind of laugh, I remember just the other day talking to a couple of House members from New Mexico that are obviously pro-energy, oil and gas. But, as much as the governor and others just want the Green New Deal in New Mexico and want all green by a certain date, none of them were pushing back and giving those capital outlay dollars back to the energy sector that put those dollars at their disposal for capital outlay projects. I think this year the House members got almost $2 million apiece, and the Senate members got even more in the House, in the New Mexico legislature. And I didn't hear one Democrat saying, I'm not going to spend this. This comes from that horrible industry. They sure are good at spending the money and making everybody's lives miserable. And it's kind of like they want their cake and eat it too. And I think that's where we're missing the mark. We're not having an honest conversation about how important energy is to our state and to our nation.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what you were trying to say online. And that's the point I was making. It's like the arguments that people are trying to, again, it's just partisan. I'm not listening to you because you're a Republican. And I'm like, I'm so tired of that ideology. And every person that claims to be a Democrat or liberal out there, we need partisan, we need to work together. And then when that actually is brought up, they're like, oh, well, now. You know what I mean? And that's, I feel like that's what's going on is people, and if someone's going to say, duh, this isn't new, but everyone's talking out of both two ends of their mouth here. And that's
right.
I think to the general public, that's more upsetting than anything,
It is. And I think Americans and New Mexicans certainly are just understanding just just such hypocrisy that's coming out. Here's what I think. For all the people that are really all in for all green and they want to get completely rid of fossil fuels, then I would submit to them, then stop using anything in your life that has to do with the fossil fuel. Just let it go.
Yeah.
So that's earphones, that's cell phones, that's tablets, that's clothing, that's makeup, that's your car, give everything up, because like you mentioned just a minute ago, in most cases, we don't have another product to take the place of, they're doing it in food. Now we can get, hamburgers that are made of plant-based, material, which is fine.
Sure.
But we're not there yet when it comes to the technology industry. We do not have a way to do it. So I would say, are you ready to pull people off of a ventilating machine because we know they are made with petroleum product? Are we ready to stop giving vaccines because we know that all those syringes are touched by petroleum product? And honestly, a lot of medications have some type of petroleum product byproduct in them. So, it's kind of like, then put your money where your mouth is and give up everything that you say you don't like.
Yeah.
And let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I get you want to be an activist, sure, but you don't want to know how the sausage is made. That's kind of, and that's the ideology is, look, how the sausage is made. We see the end product. We see all the good things that happen, but we don't want to know how the sausage is made, or they're trying to get in. That's the part that makes, we need to educate everybody. And I think if people realize the impact that it had and truly realized it and didn't get caught up in all the misinformation that's really out there.
Yeah.
I think people would have at least we could all sit at a table and say, okay, yeah, we want these things. And to be honest, like you said earlier, if you really are an activist and want and you're doing this, and we talk about oil and gas, then why are you not supporting us doing? Because regardless, you're going to need to drive your car, you're going to need to do your hair, you're going to need to put on clothes, you're going to need to take your meds, you're going to do all those things. Why not back the people that are trying to be more environmentally conscious, like the regulations, things we have here? Like you said, go tell Russia to be cleaner about their energy. Go tell China to be cleaner about their energy and see how that works out for you.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
And so we're instead of supporting that, let's stop buying that stuff and start doing it here and in the clean ways and building our own people and economy and things like that. But we're so, and it seems like, I'm trying to, I don't hate doing this, but it seems like a Democrat ideology that we want to outsource all this, and I'm like, why? There's no point to that in this time. I mean, this is not about, I get businesses are trying to, it's about bottom lines. That's why they go and get things made in China and all that, because they can make whatever product in China pennies on the dollar to compare to how it's made here, because we have, things like rights and responsibilities and things we do to protect people where they don't so much. And so, but most of us at the end of the day, like, I don't care as long as I got my cell phone for $500 instead of $1,000. You know what I mean? And that's
exactly. Well, and it even goes even further than that. And this is what I get very frustrated with, because this administration especially has been very good at turning the blind eye. And I say, and I'll give you some examples. For instance, we'll put the fence around the Capitol, but not secure the border. We'll put these mandates for masks or vaccines and all this on American workers, American business owners, but not on those coming across the border illegally. But here's what is really, they want all this stuff from China, but they won't address the child slave labor.
Yeah.
But here, they just turn the blind eye. And just like right now when we were talking, the demand for energy is not going to go away. And there are nations right now that are for the first time having access to liquid natural gas for cooking, for heating their homes. The mortality rate has gone down because of liquid natural gas taken into countries that had never had it before, that were still burning sticks and whatever they could find to cook and clean their homes. And are we going to just shut all that off because they can't go green? I mean, we're talking about areas in the world that do not have the infrastructure, and may never have the infrastructure to go all green, have the grid and all this. So how are we going to chop off the opportunities to so many people in poverty that are now benefiting from the energy that we produce here in America and around the world? It makes no sense.
Absolutely. You're right.
We could have a whole show on this.
I know. I'm just curious. You were at the speech Tuesday night, right? In the house there sitting.
I watched it. I did not go.
Okay.
Yeah, and because magically COVID has obviously left the U.S. House of Representatives, because up until literally, and I will be honest, just a few hours before, they were first saying you had to get a ticket, you couldn't bring anybody with you, you had to have a COVID test, you had to have proof of vaccine, you had to wear the N95 mask. I mean, they had all these mandates, and they had very few people that were going to be there. Then as the day went on, they started lifting some of that, and then all of a sudden you see the House of Representatives, nobody had on a mask. That's the first time I think anybody's seen Nancy Pelosi without a mask in over a year. But you saw how sparse it was in there, and that's because they kept putting these mandates on it. And I just think they started realizing this is going to look really bad on TV. Let's open some of this up. So, but I did watch it. But I did.
Okay, I didn't know if
you
were there because I was kind of curious just to kind of, get the side and what people were thinking when, what we don't see on camera. I was just kind of curious about that. But you know what? I made a joke the other day, and it's not wrong, is you can thank Russia. I think it cured COVID for us because no one seems to care about COVID anymore now that Russia has gone and invaded Ukraine. I mean, all those things that people are mask Nazis and every day is like, what? I don't mask. What are you talking about? I don't even care about that.
Right. Yeah, it just makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. It's magical how suddenly, we found the cure. And here's what's even kind of made me kind of smile is I heard an ad on TV up here in Washington, D.C. just this week that said it's talking, I thought it was going to be for the vaccine, but it actually started talking about we need to get vaccinated for the flu. Because now, suddenly now we can get the flu again. We haven't had the flu for over 2 years, but now the flu's coming back. And so, and we all can agree, look, COVID is serious, and there's always going to be a variant.
Absolutely.
And I think we all know of someone that passed away from it. And I hate that this happened.
Yeah.
But I hate even more that they took advantage of the fear mongering, and then really stepped on people's individual freedoms and rights. And that's where they took it way too far. And I think it's backfired. I think Americans are over that.
Absolutely. Because you think about it. I mean, yes, at the beginning where we didn't know a lot of stuff and, err on the side of caution, I understand. But 2 years later, and we've got a grasp on this thing, why isn't life exactly how it was in 2019 at this point? You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as how we live our lives. Sure, be cautious. Like, get your vaccinations. Do, people that are who have weak immune systems and are susceptible or in the parameters that this is a deadly thing for you, then yes, those precautions need to be done for those folks. But at the same time, we can't shut down the world to do that. And now we can't help the people that really need help because we don't have material or anything or any of the stuff we had pre-COVID is all out of sorts. And now the days of you just walking into something and grabbing, getting out is hit or miss now because of all this mess.
Yep.
And it's going to be a while before we get back to that point because it's going to take time for the world to catch up on that stuff.
It's absolutely going to take a while, and certainly with the instability in Ukraine and Russia, with everything happening now, there are so many things that are uncertain for industries. And what I thought was interesting the other night is it was, as my friend Mark Meadows said about the speech, he said it was like twice baked potatoes. There was something good, but then no follow-up. For instance, out of nowhere, President Biden said, we need to secure the border. Music to our ears, but yet then he didn't say how, or he's going to do the fence, or he's going to, put more troops on the ground, or more resources. He just went right into something else, or, the same way he talked about things that would matter to us, but then no path forward. But what he never addressed was energy. He never addressed the economy, the failed policies that have driven the inflation up to a 40-year high, the cost of gas at the pump, and like you just said, supply chains. I mean, I think in there he did try to say that somehow used car sales have driven inflation up, which makes no sense since we're not talking about manufacturing vehicles. We're talking about vehicles that were pre-owned. It just made no sense, and I think most Americans came out of there thinking, what was that? There's no takeaway. Like, there was not a path forward. And like I said, I appreciate the fact that he did speak about Ukraine, but the speech was 1 hour and 2 minutes long, and he talked literally for 30 minutes about Russia and Ukraine, which, granted, that warranted having a dialogue, but that was half his speech. And so I think Americans were waiting for, okay, so what about us? What about the home front? What about our kids, the education process, the getting people out the couch and back to the workforce? And it just kind of fell flat, I believe.
We're almost out of time, but I kind of want to talk just real quick, get back to Ukraine and Russia here. Do you guys get intel briefings at all on some of this stuff, or do they leave you in the dark on that, and that's reserved for higher echelons in the circles there?
Well, we had an unclassified briefing right after it came out, and we then had a classified briefing here, which I hate to say this out loud, but I will tell you on the classified briefings, and we had those with for some other issues, is normally then you get out of the briefing thinking, and then you're hearing it on Fox News or you've seen it last night. On So it's not super classified. Now, I am going to be on a briefing call this afternoon with members of the Armed Services Committee and a couple others. They're doing a briefing, and so I'll be anxious to see what they say. But one thing I will tell you, Mike, that kind of made me it just made me sit down and go, wow, we have a new intern in our office, and we're always bringing in interns. And she's young. I mean, I think she's like 20 or 21 or something. But she was telling me that this was so surprising to her to see this stuff on TV, how they're showing, because she said she was like 2 when 9/11 happened. So when all that was going on, the Scud missiles, and, we were kind of watching for the first time a war take place before our very eyes because of the TV and all this.
Sure.
And so she really kind of made me think, wow, there's a lot of young people who are for the first time seeing this destruction and what's happening. And I think it's alarming for them. It's alarming for me too, for all of us. But I just thought, wow, that's an interesting thought, because we just get to where we take, our technology so for granted with, TV and Facebook and all this. And I thought it was really telling. And I could tell she was gravely concerned, but she told me it's not just her, it's a lot of her friends. When they're seeing it, they just can't get over it. And
absolutely.
And I think it's maybe pushing some of our younger generations to think about, what's happening in the world and what's happening in our government and how are these decisions being made. So but it was really an interesting dialogue I had with her, and it made me think, we just sort of take it for granted seeing this stuff because we're used to it now. So, interesting turn of events.
Yeah. Well, I was just kind of wondering because, like some of the things I've heard and some of, things I've read and have been told to me when we talk about what's going on over there, and it's not black and white like media and everyone wants to make it out to be. And what I mean by that is Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. That's a statement it's true. It is. They that's why they're not in NATO. That's why, because there's a lot of corruption there. But what I'm hearing is that Putin's just kind of gone rogue and crazy, and he's not even there's reports that his own intelligence community isn't really on his side on this one, even though he's kind of he's a KGB guy through and through. But what I'm hearing is that this is more Putin than Russia. Is that kind of some of the stuff you're hearing?
I would agree that's kind of the sense that, I think Congress as a whole is kind of starting to kind of seem to feel that way just by what we're watching. And it almost feels like we're seeing a madman, if you will, that's, really gone off the deep end here. And it is, I think the sense of what you just said is absolutely correct. And that it's just almost feels like it's one guy kind of, and there's no way for us to verify, and I'll see today if they're able to verify any of this, but, we're hearing some of the Russian troops are actually just laying down their arms and saying, we're not doing this. Yeah. Now I feel for them if that's true, because you just don't know what their future looks like, especially under the Putin regime. But, I'd like to know, is that true? And if that's the case, I mean, this is like one man gone mad. Yeah. And then the other thing I will tell you, though, is what Congress is definitely talking about and has had conversations about is, what is China doing? Are they eyeing Taiwan? Is Putin going to go beyond the border of Ukraine and go further into Europe, into Poland or other countries, Finland? And here's what makes it so tough. The downside to all this social media and all this information is you don't know what's real and what isn't real, and what's accurate and what's not accurate, and that makes it tough. But I will tell you, grave concern on what is China doing. They've stayed so quiet on this. They didn't vote with the NATO partners the other day at the UN, I believe. So what is Taiwan doing? And should America, and I'm just saying, should Americans now, should this administration be looking to help Taiwan in a proactive way or not? I mean, what do we do? And I think there's been not a lot of confidence in this administration and with his cabinet, especially if we look back to what happened in Afghanistan.
Sure.
The confidence level to Millie Blinken, Mayorkas, all these guys, I mean, that's not great. There's not a lot of confidence in these guys right now, and that's not helping, at all.
Absolutely.
And so it does beg the question, what do we do from here? Is this, when does it end, and what do we need to be preparing for? But can't stress enough, though, energy independence ought to be our number one priority.
Yeah, but you're right about the Taiwan thing, because you're like, what's next? You almost see how this plays out here is going to dictate what others are going to do next. You know what I mean? And that's what we're worried about, is like, hey, if Russia does this, who's to say China's like, okay, well, they did it here, well, we're going to go take Taiwan and do, and
right.
And that's what we're worried about is, all right, this is setting a precedent we don't like very much right now.
Exactly. And no doubt China's watching to see how the world is reacting and how America, and I'm just so disappointed that I feel, and I believe I'm not alone in this, I think many Americans feel this way. I think our global standing, our global ability to truly lead has diminished under this administration. I really don't think this would be happening under the Trump administration, or even another strong leader. And here's why. And Mike Pompeo said it the best. When this first started kind of going, 10 days ago, Mike Pompeo, I heard the best statement ever. He said, look, the rift between Russia and a number of countries, but Ukraine, and he said nothing on the world stage has changed. The only thing that has changed is America's administration. That's the only change, a vital change that's happened. And now we have somebody in the White House who has, rolled right into some of these agreements that Trump got us out of, who was very quiet and did not even put sanctions in place for the Nord 2 pipeline. We signaled right away, look, we're not going to be energy independent. We're going to buy oil from everybody else. We're going he signaled that we took 10 steps back instead of, and I think that's what is telling. When Pompeo said that the other day, it's like, wow, that's pretty truthful. Nothing on the world stage changed except the administration in the United States of America, and that's pretty telling.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we got to go. We're hitting on the top of the hour here. I would love to talk to you some more.
Talk all day.
We could. As always, Congresswoman, thank you very much for keeping representing us here and keeping things going on. And good luck in the next fights here. And we'll talk to you again soon. Hopefully, we got better news next time we're talking. Maybe.
I hope so. Well, and I just want to congratulate all the winners the other day from the municipal elections.
Yes.
And I look forward to coming back to district soon. I'm not there this weekend, but I'll be back next week. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, and I just thank you for your time. And you just have a really blessed weekend.
You do the same, and don't work too hard, and stay healthy.
Sounds good. All right, Mike. Thanks so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care. Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye-bye now.
All right, that was Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. Thank you very much to her for spending time. We're going to join Town Hall News in progress. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Wounding of 2 Chicago police officers. They were shot early today on the city's west side. Both officers said to suffer non-life-threatening injuries. One was shot in the leg, the other officer suffering a graze wound to the head. The Supreme Court reinstating the death sentence for convicted Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. The justices, a 6-3 vote, agreeing that a federal appeals court was wrong to toss out the death sentence imposed on Tsarnaev. Wall Street, the Dow down 494 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Moose is the German Shepherd, now 11, and he's been an amazing dog. Moose is so active and so alert and hasn't had any kind of health problems at all. He has been on Dinovite since he's a puppy. DINOVITE.com. Now, Moose, at age 10, had a litter of 10 puppies with a friend's dog. We kept Lupo, his son, and the other puppies were given to friends, but one of the requirements was they must start those puppies on Dinovite. And someday, if Lupo has puppies, they'll be on Dinovite as well. We tell anybody that has a dog, if there was something that you could do right from the beginning so that you don't have expensive veterinary bills, why would you not do it? Get the Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
An ex-Louisville police officer cleared of charges in the Breonna Taylor case.
We, the jury, found the defendant, Brett Hankerson, not guilty of...
A jury of 8 men and 4 women found former Louisville police officer Brett Hankerson not guilty of charges that he endangered neighbors when he fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment during a botched drug raid that resulted in Taylor's death. The jury reached the verdict after about 3 hours of deliberation. Hankerson did not fire any of the bullets that killed the 26-year-old Taylor on March 13, 2020. None of the officers involved in the raid were charged with Taylor's death. Hankerson's acquittal likely ends the possibility of state criminal charges against any of the officers involved in the raid. A federal investigation into whether the officers violated Taylor's civil rights is underway. I'm Mike Gracia.
Former Secretary of State Pompeo calling for the U.S. to grant diplomatic recognition to Taiwan. He's visiting the island. Townhall.com. Senate Republicans reject President Biden's request for another $22.5 billion for COVID-19 relief.
Senate Appropriations Committee ranking member Republican Richard Shelby says the request is poorly timed since billions of dollars already approved have yet to be spent. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas says adding $22 billion to the omnibus spending bill would also fuel more inflation. Also Thursday, Republicans, temporarily in the majority because of Democrat absences, passed a resolution ending the coronavirus national public health emergency, a bill unlikely to survive a trip to the House, and even less likely, if it did, to be signed by President Biden. Bob Agnew reporting.
The UN's top human rights body voting overwhelmingly to appoint a 3-member panel to monitor human rights in Ukraine. The Human Rights Council voting 32-2, 13 abstentions, to pass a resolution presented by many Western countries. Yet on Wall Street, the Dow down 505 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Yes.
Welcome to it. Hope you're having a delightful Friday.
Hey.
It's gotta be. It's Friday.
Oh, yeah. It's looking mighty sunny out.
Yeah. Who are you waving at?
Oh, Miss Molly Boyle.
Oh. I just saw you waving at people. I didn't see anybody to wave at. I was like, who's you waving at?
Sometimes I like to wave. Sometimes I like to get the waves out, you know?
I thought maybe just waving.
We're trying to bring the wave back, only in new ways. It's not just like this anymore. Now we're doing this thing.
Yeah. I just usually see when you wave somebody.
It's synchronized now. We're actually doing the fall-ins thing, like in synchronized swimming. It's nice. A lot
is
of
synchronized swimming still a event?
Like, well, not this time of year, no.
I mean, but like, do they do that in the Olympics still? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, they had the synchronized swimming event at the last Olympics.
Summer Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I haven't watched it. I never got that one. I get, it's difficult. It's hard. Is it a sport, though?
It's a competition.
I just don't know.
Look at equestrian sports. Are those really sports? You're really competing against the field itself. You're competing against the elements.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a competition. I would argue that yes, synchronized events. Because now here's the thing that I never really thought about. with synchronized events like in the pool / water polo, it all happens in a pool that's deep enough that they're not standing.
Yeah.
They're treading water while all this is happening. Maintaining their height, maintaining their level. I mean, that's hard work.
I'm not. The skill set, athleticism, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I get all that. But at the end of the day, is it a sport or is it a theatrical production in the water? That's what I'm like. It's not like I don't go to a play and watch the play and be like, I give that a 7. Whereas you know,
you don't
saying?
go to the theater, right? Then
I don't know if I agree with that as it being a sport.
I would argue that any competition that requires judgment and things like that it has its place.
See, I don't. To be honest, if I had my druthers, any sport that requires judges, out. You're out of the Olympics.
Are you talking about water polo?
No.
We're talking about synchronized swimming.
I was talking about synchronized swimming.
I was going to say water polo is hardcore.
I brought up water polo because those are two sports wherein they have to tread water.
But think about, how much garbage and cheating and scandal comes out of figure skating. I mean, and I'm not talking just about I, Tonya.
Sure.
It is so hacked and rigged and it has nothing to do with how good you are and who you know, where you know, and how. Skating is such a sham, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not talking about the actual figure skate. I'm talking about the whole industry and how that's done. It's shady and corrupt and nasty. Tanya's the tip of that iceberg. I'm telling you right now. I bet if you dug deep, you'd find all kind of shenanigans going on there.
How deep does Brian Boitano know?
And so because of that, I'm very sour on judge sports.
I understand where
anybody
you're coming
that requires that opinion of someone else on how well you did it, pound sand.
I would just argue that it has its place. And if it's not in the Olympics, then where would that place be?
Then we do it at the Ice Capades.
At the Ice Capades.
You know what I mean? I'm saying, like
synchronized swimming coming to the Ice Capades.
I'm just wondering, but I'm just
saying. It's
saying.
real cold.
Oh, okay. So give them jobs at SeaWorld. Okay? I mean,
oh boy.
At the end of the day, your skill set is you do acrobatic acts in a pool of water.
We need to work up
That's impressive. It's not world changing.
We need to work up a separate, and I'm going to task you with this, Tanner.
Okay.
A separate chyron just for Mike's face that just says Mike Winters hot takes with like little flames, dancing flames.
I'm just saying.
I'll work up a bed.
I'm not going to put him
Time
in hell.
once again for Mike Winters. Hot takes.
You know what? Give them jobs at SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, places like this. I don't care. Go take them to Florida. Go down, open back up, whatever that thing used to do in Florida there, where they
Gulf
did the water
World?
skiing and all that stuff. What was that? I went to that place.
I think was it called Gulf World?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because my parents went to that place when I was like a baby.
Oh, when I was a kid, I went there.
It was like bootleg SeaWorld.
We went to Disney World, and then we went to this place. It's not open anymore. It used to be a big deal in like 60s, 70s, and then but they were known for like the water skiing where they had like 50 people being towed on the back of water
pyramid,
skiing.
the big pyramid of water skiing.
That sounds ridiculous.
That's what they did. It was ridiculous. It was awesome. It was amazing to watch. You know what? Not an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I would put synchronized swimming in that same category. Something gardens. Something
Busch Gardens?
No.
Village Gardens?
No. It was something floral. Something. Someone's yelling at the radio right now.
Right.
I know they are. It's something
gardens
or cypress gardens. Cypress gardens, maybe.
Let's find out. Let's see. Let's hit up Google and see what it says. You said Florida?
Yeah.
I'd be curious
Orlando.
about the history of synchronized swimming as well.
Where's my text machine now? I don't have that coming in. Some Cypress Gardens feels right to me, but that I'm not 100% certain on that.
All right. Well, let's see. Well, first of all, let's remind people that this morning is brought to you by the fine folks at McDonald's.
Yes, thank you. Did you find anything yet? Or are you still
keep
he's
looking,
digging.
keep working,
Okay.
keep working.
So I didn't want to step on your answer here, but yes, while he's looking up that important piece of information,
Thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every single Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. We are all fortunate enough to now have the South Main location available to us. So swing on by. They opened it up, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago.
Just about. Since then. I can't tell if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. This week was a month long, so I don't remember. Yeah. But swing on by, get to download the McDonald's app to your smartphones and tablets. It's a game changer with it. You can get exclusive deals. You can order for curbside, delivery, pickup, dine-in, whatever it is, they got you covered, and take advantage of the day. And like you said, if you don't have your wallet with you, that app will save your bacon on at least get your lunch.
Not only did it save my bacon, but I also was reminded, hey, I can get a free coffee with any $1 purchase.
There you go.
$1 purchase. So while they had their hash browns, I had a coffee.
You didn't have your wallet, and you saved some money.
That's right. Time. Got myself a freebie without even intending to. Thanks, McDonald's.
There you go. Was it Cypress Gardens?
It is Cypress Gardens, Winter Haven, Florida.
There it is.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're in. This is a picture from 1967. And yeah, it's exactly what you're describing. It's basically a line of cheerleaders.
I went there back in the 80s. Yeah, before they closed it down there in late 80s, 90s. Normally they closed that down. But
and that's every single picture too. If you flip through,
I'm telling you, that's what they were known for. I mean, they had gardens, but no one cared about that.
A literal pyramid right there.
I told you. Yeah, I told you. They had gardens, but no one cared about them. All they cared about was those people. So that's...
You got to feel bad to be the person in the middle of a water ski pyramid.
Yeah.
You don't get to be like the person on top getting the glory. You're not down at the bottom enjoying the spray in your face.
Kind of like synchronized swimming. The person under their heel holding the other one up while they're doing all this down there.
There's fun in that.
Again,
it's a lot of breath control.
Just proving my point. Synchronized swimming is not a activity that should be in the Olympics.
Well, okay, so while you guys were talking, I was looking up just something on Google here.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically a demonstration sport. Yeah. As you were saying.
Well, that's two different words. You're either a sport or a demonstration. You can't be both.
And somebody else agrees with you, but this is from a different article. But this is what it says. They must continually move their legs in circular movements like an egg beater.
It's
because
hard.
Synchronized swimming is a contact sport, and the swimmers' kicks are so powerful, swimmers may get hit by other competitors' legs, causing concussions or knocking off nose clips.
Well, using that logic, slamming a door is a sport. Because that's the same thing.
I just thought y'all would get a kick out of that. This is funny.
It's very hard, difficult, but ain't no sport. Sorry.
What about professional wrestling?
Professional wrestling that's why it's called WWE.
But it's also synchronized.
Well, sure.
And choreographed.
It doesn't make it a sport.
You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose. I left the room to do another radio station, and you brought up wrestling.
He did. I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't bring
People
anything.
know what you're doing. It's still real to me, damn it.
I'm not saying it's not difficult. Those people get beat up.
And very much a sport.
It's entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
It's 9:15. I'll see who else I can alienate. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll start off cloudy today, but some sunshine coming back by afternoon. We have low pressure that'll be moving through our area, so the wind will be gusty. No rain with that system, though. Our afternoon high today in the low 80s. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll drop about 10 degrees on our afternoon high tomorrow. Breezy, sunny, and low 70s. Upper 60s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning that will kick in. That is kicked in officially right now. Will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. We are looking at partly cloudy skies today. We're full on sunny now. I think the partly cloudy's burned off. What I'm seeing is mostly sunny, but it's going to be warm. Highs near 82. That's the good news, but the winds are coming with it. Southwest winds 5 to 15 early, 20 to 30 later today, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 41. Winds will remain breezy this evening out of the southwest, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They will decrease down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Sunny, 72 for a high tomorrow. Winds a little calmer, 5 to 10 in the morning, but a little breezy, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 33. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Sunday, a little cooler and windier once again. Sunny, highs near 68, but the winds will be up out of the southwest, 10 to 15 early, 20 to 25 later in the day, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Sunday night will be breezy under mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 28. And then cooler on Monday, sunny skies, highs only in the mid-50s. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break. Molly Boyles with Main Street Roswell is going to join us because tonight is First Friday. Got a lot planned, lots of live music, Dr. Seuss and reading, all that going on tonight. So we'll talk about that. They also have a bottle cap sorting event tomorrow as well. I grabbed the flyer and forgot to bring it in here. So we're going to talk about that with Molly and all the other stuff happening with Main Street Roswell on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Celebrate spring break at the Spring River Zoo with one of their exciting day camps. Each day is a separate camp where children will enjoy animal-themed crafts and games, fun educational activities, a guided tour of the zoo, and amazing encounters with the animals. For children age 4 through 6, events will take place March 14th and 15th from 8 a.m. till noon. For children age 7 to 12, themed camps will take place March 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call the Spring River Zoo at 575-624-6750 or visit roswellconnect.org for information and to reserve your ticket.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Main Street Roswell, Molly Boyles back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Yes. I'm so excited. So I'm frustrated that we never really had a winter, but these temperatures have been fantastic.
It is not. Today's a real mixed bag. You're like 82, yes.
Wind.
40-mile-an-hour wind, not so much.
Serious frustration. I am worried about some of our fruit trees and our nut trees, our pecan harvest.
Sure.
How many of these trees are going to get fooled? Because it's still pretty early.
Yeah,
realistically, we could very easily have a really hard freeze still.
Yeah. It is southeast New Mexico, and just when you think, you're in a season, they turn around and change it on you.
Right, yes.
Well, good news is should be good temperatures for tonight's first Friday.
And I think by then the wind will have chilled out.
Chilled a little bit, but in case for folks, vendors and nonprofits are going to be setting up tents or booths, might want to hammer down those a little bit more.
Bring some extra rocks to the pockets, and definitely if you've got a tablecloth, you're going to want clamps.
Yeah, maybe get a chin strap for your Dr. Seuss hats tonight.
There you go. There you go. Yes.
Because a tall hat probably not the best in the wind right now.
No. We'll be chasing those from here to Artesia, or depending on which way the wind is blowing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But nonetheless, we want to invite everyone to come out. It's the first Friday of March. It kind of snuck up on us with a busy week of elections and presidents talking and everything going on.
Right.
But tonight is the first Friday of March.
Yes.
And this is a fun one with promoting Dr. Seuss reading. All that's kind of the theme for tonight.
It is. So, we always, as a group, talk about kids and trying to find ways to keep kids engaged in our local community. And one of the best things we can do is everybody to encourage kids to read. So not only do we have the Dr. Seuss birthday that's being celebrated at this point in time, but I don't know how many people know that the Dolly Parton Imagination Library is available.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So that one, that is actually through the... Give me just a moment. I will think of who's doing that.
It'll come down.
I believe, is it the United Way? Oh, holy cow. I feel so bad.
Okay.
Because now I can't remember. I'm going to have to look it up. But
all right.
It's a free program where young children can be sent books every month.
Okay. In the mail kind of thing?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a program. Dolly Parton pays for it. It's I'm sure through different grants and so forth.
I've heard a little bit about it, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yes. So I'll find that in a moment. But for this evening, so I don't look quite so bad. For this evening, we have quite a few of our stores that, of course, will be open late.
Sure.
Encouraging reading and so on.
Yeah.
And we also have the Matthew Palmer bands coming out tonight.
They'll be at Stellar, I think.
Yes, and we have, so we don't always have free music. It depends. A lot of it is definitely temperature dependent
it
or
is
weather
related.
Weather related, yes.
I mean, if it's cold out, no one wants to hang out. I don't care how good the music is. I'm like, I'll catch it on CD.
Right. So yes, we have. It's Chavez County United Way. So it is.
Okay.
It's Chavez County United Way. I did have that right. Oh, thank goodness. So they are partnering with the Imagination. It's Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So you can go online and look up imaginationlibrary.com.
Okay.
And you can get your kids signed up.
Signed up for it.
Yes.
Is there an age requirement or age?
I believe it's from birth to 6, maybe 8.
Okay, good deal. So it's the early developing reading ages there.
Yes,
gotcha.
It is to encourage the parents to read to their children and read with their children as they get older.
And I'll tell you this: I've read enough studies and talked to enough librarians and experts and things. The more you expose your kids to reading in books, especially at infants reading them and all that, it does. There's enough studies to prove that there's enough evidence to say that those kids generally are better thinkers, critical thinkers, reading skills, all the things we're trying to teach them.
Right.
They develop those skills at a much earlier age when you're reading to them, when you're and it's not even when they're infants and you're just reading books or singing, or it's all about that interaction and everything.
It's that interaction, and it's my understanding much of it is engaging their imagination. The moment you engage their imagination, that opens up so many more doors in the brain.
Yeah.
There's all these electrical impulses that have to connect to get things to stick. And it's my understanding once the imagination is engaged, it really does allow for the kids to absorb more, not to just hear the words, but as their imagination kicks in.
I wonder, and there's a reason I'm a radio DJ, but you always hear things like we only actually use like 10% of our brains or something like that. I wonder if some of these things actually unlock maybe they go to 11% or something. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if that and I have no idea. I'm just speculating here, but I wonder.
So one of the things about that 10% of the brain thing, it's not that literally there's only 10% of the brain itself that ever gets used.
Sure.
It's that at any given moment, there is only 10% of the brain engaged in whatever you're doing.
Okay.
It's not literally that the other 90% is completely worthless.
I just didn't know if it's like potential. Like
I would think.
You know what I mean? Like you always, and I hate doing this using movies and things, but there's that movie Lucy that was out a couple years ago, and it's Scarlett Johansson. The whole premise of the movie is there's some drug that actually enhances more of her brain, and next thing you know, she speaks foreign languages, does karate, and Lord knows what other things she does. But yeah, that's kind of the premise of the movie, and I was just like, and I know that's a movie, but at some point you're like, I'm wondering, doing these things, if we actually unlock where there's more potential out of there. You know what I mean?
I would say that would be accurate.
Yeah.
My understanding of young childhood development, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or any of that.
I'm just a guy spitballing.
Yeah, from what I read when my children were very young, and I was trying to understand what is it I'm supposed to do as a mom, because my mother died before my kids. She only got to meet one of my children, so I didn't have someone to help me.
Sure, a grandma to come in and be grandma.
And my husband's mother lived in El Paso and wasn't.
So you didn't get to see her all the time. Yeah.
So one of the things I remember reading was that the brain, again, it's these electrical impulses that connect, and the more of those that you can get to make a full connection. So as an infant, those connections are not yet made, and so each experience the child has makes another full connection. Okay. And so each of those bridges you can build, those connections, help to allow another area to open up and to be used to have the memories. So
it kind of like a more scientific version of what I just said.
Yes.
But
and
actually the evidence to back it a little bit.
There's a movie, and I wish I could remember the name of it. It's a cartoon talking about the brain and how the brain works.
Yeah, they had the different parts of it.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of it, too, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it was a great explanation for children to understand that there are certain memories and certain things that we learn that are there forever, and they are the core of who we are. Yeah. Anyway, we've gotten totally off subject. I don't know how that happens.
It's
Mike,
the morning show. I'm surprised it's only happened once so far.
Right? Anyway,
But the point is, Dr. Seuss tonight.
Yes, reading. It's important, guys.
And sign your children up for the Dolly Parton Imagination Program. You can do it. What's that website again?
ImaginationLibrary.com.
Very good. And of course, you talk to the United Way of Chaves County. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And thank you. Thank you so much to the United Way, because it is a program I remember hearing about for years and knew it wasn't available here. I'm so excited. They brought it here. I believe it's been 2 years now. They brought it to Roswell, because you have to have a sponsoring entity and so forth to be able to bring it into your community. So it's very exciting that they stepped up and did that for our youth.
And Dolly Parton's had a history of doing this kind of stuff.
Yes.
That her big passion is kids and reading. That's one of many, but that's one of the big ones.
Yes, it is.
And she's this has kind of been her mantra pretty much since she's kind of taken a backseat to singing and more to, the less public life. She's been doing this kind of stuff.
Right. Yes.
So.
Yes. She has a dedication to the humanities.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's, you think about it, and it makes sense, because anytime I don't care if you're a fan of Dolly Parton's music or not.
Right.
There's not a person on the planet that says, I hate Dolly Parton. It's like, she's just a wonderful lady. Even if you're not a fan of her singing, you can't deny she's a good human being.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's awesome. So,
yes.
By the way, her singing, she's an amazing singer, but I'm a bigger fan of her acting. 9 to 5 is a movie I love.
I love that one.
I haven't seen it in years, but I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yes.
I'd watch it today if it popped up on TV.
Yes, that is. If you guys haven't seen that one, that's a good one. Yes.
It's one of my favorite movies. She's done other. I mean, Steel Magnolia. I'm not looking for those crime movies. I want something to laugh.
Yeah, and Steel Magnolia, she didn't play as big a part, I don't think.
Well, and to be honest. And I say this in looking back, 9 to 5 was very much a period piece on women's strength in being in
the workplace.
Yeah, it was women's fighting for their equality type type movie, and she does an amazing job as that character. She kind of part of you kind of thinks a little of that character is actually her. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she's playing a character, but if you came up on Dolly with some of the trivial, some of the crap she was dealing with in that movie, I kind of feel like she wouldn't, like, that's how she'd handle it, obviously at that time in real life, you know what I mean? Like, she was not one that, she was, we got way off topic again, but she's one that has a personality. She's like the sweetest, nicest person on the planet, unless you cross her, and then hell's coming with her, kind of moment.
Yes.
That was impressive. And I feel like
Dolly.
Dolly,
yes.
might be like that in real life a little bit.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So
probably a really long fuse.
Yeah.
But boy, you don't want to be standing there when it gets down to the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, get on the thing. That was the whole point.
Yes, yes. So
what else do we want to talk about First Friday tonight?
okay.
Here?
So like I said, we've got music. Guys, we've got a lot going on downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Several of our businesses are going to be open. I was unable to touch base with many of the businesses.
I've seen a few online on Facebook,
Yes.
their promotions and things like
Yes.
Imaginat's going to be doing a big Dr. Seuss thing and pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So visit there.
So we do hope that everybody comes out. The
Yeah.
weather is getting nice, and we're getting ready for that time change. So we're going to be able to have our evenings, our first Fridays are going to last a little longer.
Good. Yeah, the weather should be getting a little nicer and things
Yes.
here. So maybe maybe I know we like to visit our favorite restaurants and things when we're downtown here for that. Maybe I don't know, if not tonight, maybe next month we can start doing some on the patio type stuff and
The weather should turn around by then.
Yeah, as long
I
as the
think
winds
most
stay
of them-
down, it'll be just fine.
Yeah, I
for-
think most of them start that usually in April.
Okay.
I don't know that they started in March. I
Yeah.
would have to double check with
Okay.
several of them.
Are some of the food trucks going to be out there tonight, or is it mostly just the restaurants?
Not that I've not yet heard about food trucks.
Okay.
We're
But
still
our
working on some
favorite
of that.
restaurants will certainly,
Oh, yes.
where you go to Peppers or El Toro Bravo or
And-
Stellar Coffee, any of the
and
great places.
Martins, and-
I'm leaving somebody out.
Yeah.
I always do this.
La
but they're all
Grande
good.
Victoria.
Yeah. They're all,
Yes.
By the way, I last Saturday night I went and saw the Roswell Communal Theaters play,
Yes.
Four Old Broads. But before we went and had dinner over at La Grande Victoria, and I don't know what, and they have great Mexican food. Love it. Awesome.
Yes.
But I don't know what they do with their French fries. They have amazing French fries. I love their French. They have awesome burgers. But if you just don't want a burger, they got in the appetizers corn nuggets and fries. Get you one of those. And
Really?
I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about the fries. I don't know if they double fry them. I could literally eat them without ketchup and stuff. They're that tasty to me. So tip: go to the Mexican place and get French fries.
There you go. You know? that whole French fries and French toast thing. As a young child, traveled to France, and I was absolutely devastated when the waiter couldn't bring me French fries. I was devastated as a young child. I mean, apparently I made quite the scene. I was probably 5. You know, so
I'm in France and I can't get French fries.
Right? Yeah, I did not understand whatsoever. You know, anyway. But you mentioned something about sorting. We do have our cap sorting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Yes.
And these
so-
are for the benches.
Yes.
The caps for the benches.
Right.
here.
So anybody that's been collecting caps, feel free to reach out. Leave a message at 575-914-8018
Okay.
or 8017.
Okay.
You can leave a message. I will do my best to get everything picked up
Okay.
before sorting tomorrow morning. We're just going to run it for about 3 hours. So if you're available anytime between 9 and 12,
Sure.
even if you can only come in for 20, 30 minutes or an
Yeah.
hour, please stop on by. We're going to be there at Hawks Automotive,
Okay.
which is at the corner of...
I know where it's at. I couldn't tell you the streets. I'm
it's
bad at streets.
Grand and Lincoln.
Okay.
Lincoln and Grand.
Okay.
I believe is the
That
intersection.
sounds right. When you say Lincoln, I feel like that.
It is
that's
on
right,
Lincoln.
yeah.
It is on Lincoln where it dead ends there. So you would, off of 2nd Street, you're going to turn south on Lincoln.
Yeah.
And it'll be at the end of that street on your right-hand side.
Yeah.
So, and it's an easy job, and it's actually a lot of fun. We get to joking around and,
Sure.
you know.
I would imagine people that, like, there's a certain group of people, like, it's in their DNA. They love, like that's a cathartic thing for them to blue, green, whatever it is.
Oh,
size,
and it's not
whatever.
color. It's
Yeah,
not
by
color,
size
yes.
or type or whatever
Type.
it is. But there's people that love to, they're those people that put their change quarters, nickel. You know what I mean? They're those kind of people. So this is your Shangri-La tomorrow, is to come and do that. Like if you like bubble popping and things I feel like this is your play date.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm the change sorter in my house, and it's funny because my husband has a bowl on his side of the vanity, and he dumps his change in there, and every so often he'll go, "Hey everyone, it's someone's turn to sort change," and my kids will go running, and I'm like, "Don't touch it."
That's my job.
Mine.
Get your own change and sort.
Yeah, everybody in the family knows that's my thing. I love it.
Sure.
I love to sit there and sort them out.
Yeah.
And it's so dumb to,
It's like my mother-in-law is like that with ironing.
Really?
Like that's her. Like she loves to iron, and I'll go to her house. I'm like, you want me to iron something? I'm like, I don't have. Oh, that's okay. I'll iron it anyway. And I'm like,
right.
Which it did not travel to her daughter, by the way. My wife,
you know.
I think I've counted the number of times on one hand the times I've seen her iron something. So.
It is probably that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Because I can remember when my oldest was in school and I had the time at that point to iron, and I won't say I enjoyed it, but I did get satisfaction from it because
Gotcha.
you could take a horribly wrinkled shirt, oh my goodness, that was straight out of the dryer, just looked awful, and boy, you touch it and it was a great sense of accomplishment to get all those wrinkles out and have it looking so spiffy.
I think the military cured me of my desire to like doing that.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine you had to.
Yeah. Well, and I was an airman, and I couldn't afford to take my uniforms to the cleaners every week. That's a lot of money for a guy making no money, you know? And so, it was a lot of ironing myself and so much starch.
Oh,
and, you know, to make these, basically, for them, they almost want them shirts to stand up on their own with these creases that you could cut butter with, you know? And that's kind of what I had them do, you know? So, you know how you do that? A lot of ironing and a lot of starch.
Yes, yes. And I did find out at that point in life that if I put enough starch on a shirt, and then when I got ready to wash it, if I washed it on cold, I might not have to iron it the next go round.
Oh.
But then I finally found kids size no iron shirts that didn't require the ironing. I was like, oh, thank you.
No iron's the best invention in the 21st century, I think. No iron shirts and pants.
It was I was like, oh, thank goodness. Now I have time for other things because, it does. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And when you're doing stuff for 5, 6, 7-year-olds, it's little stuff. Well, you would think it takes less time. Guess what? It doesn't really take less time.
Because you got to pay more attention to detail.
Yes!
It's tighter turns and
Right. It's like when somebody goes in for a haircut and they tell the hairdresser, well, you know, I just need a little trim, just a little bit off. So you don't need to charge me a full haircut. It's like, no, they're still doing the same number of cuts, I assure you.
Well, you want it even, right? And it takes a little attention to detail. It's not like you're going, well, there it is. Goodbye. See you later.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's a hairdresser, and she's like, I just don't understand when somebody comes in and they go, well, I just want a trim, so don't charge me full price. I'm like, wait, what?
No, you want to know what's actually easier? Them taking the buzz thing, go, brr, 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 you're out the door. That's easier.
Right. But again, off subject. So we have sorting day on Saturday. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You and I are not good together trying to stay on subject.
Well, but I think we're doing good. We got out first Friday. We got the sorting event going here. So we're getting the information out, just a lot of in between.
So we have several things coming up in March for our stakeholders. So I don't know how many are aware that our stakeholders, we try to, keep in touch with our business and property owners and business managers so that everybody kind of knows what's going on in the downtown district, obviously for our first Fridays, but there's other stuff that comes up. So I'm very thankful to Grace Fresquez over at the RPD, who is offering to come in and talk with our merchants about, we're going to try to set up a neighborhood watch. From time to time, there's issues downtown, and it's great when everybody can be watching out for one another. So,
and that's kind of the beauty of being in the Main Street corridor.
Yes.
It is a family.
Yes.
I mean, you're all your own business and trying to do your own thing, but at the end of the day, you all kind of need each other to bring the people in to make it a great community, because if it's a great downtown, then more people are going to come, which means more business for all the vendors that call their home. Yeah.
And we do want everybody to be communicating with one another, And that's one of the things when we first started the stakeholders group until COVID hit, what we were doing was we were meeting at different businesses each month.
Okay.
And that gave everybody a very good feel for which businesses carried what product.
Sure.
So that if you had a customer...
learn about each other.
Yes. If you had a customer come into your store and say, oh, well, I'm looking for such and such. You know what? I remember seeing such and such at so-and-so's store.
Talk to so-and-so,
Yes, so it was a great way to be able to cross-promote one another to have a good feel for the merchandise carried by others.
So is that in the works to try to get back to that in the future here?
Yes, we are hoping that we can go back to...
Plus, it gives a chance for each business to show off their business a little bit. Kind of like the Chamber does the business after hours for things. It's kind of like Main Street's version of that for your own group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it does, honestly, it's an education.
So I imagine places like Peppers and El Toro Bravo, anything that serves food, they get a big turnout for those meetings.
Yes.
It's just, the human nature. Sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cook food, people come running. That's
Yes.
just science. Sorry.
It is. It is. Which brings me to another thing that Main Street's got coming up. Get with us for the details because we're still working on it. We're going to be doing a spring fundraiser April 9th.
Okay.
We will have tickets available probably by the middle of this month.
Okay.
It's going to be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. It's going to be a candy bar fundraiser.
Okay.
So get with us. We would love to have you come out and join us.
Cool.
Like I said, we don't have all of our details quite yet.
Is it fundraising for the Main Street?
For the Main Street organization, we
Cool.
have several things we want to try to do
deal.
this year. We just had our board retreat and came up with a list of things that we want to talk to our city planner and our city liaison with.
Sure.
As far as what is on the city's top list.
Gotcha.
Because we have the downtown master plan, but it's about 10 years old.
Sure.
Actually, it's a little more than 10 years old. And so one of the things that Main Street Roswell wants to do is to reach out to New Mexico Main Street and get an update to that. And that's something that the city, Main Street Roswell, and Main Street New Mexico could all work together to get this updated. And
Nice.
it's extremely helpful, not just for Main Street. It helps the city to see what the next steps are to improve and expand the businesses and the district.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the things that we're hoping to be able to approach New Mexico Main Street about is a re-up on or a renewal on the downtown.
And that partnership has got to happen.
Absolutely.
It's because at the end of the day, the city can't grow and be great without the Main Street corridor, and vice versa. Main Street can't grow and thrive without help from the city either.
Absolutely.
That's something that's got to. You got to. I mean, shoot. City government's right in the Main Street corridor, for Pete's sake. You know what I mean? It's all we all literally live in the same areas here, and so that partnership. I know, I'm guessing, the city just kind of had that. They keep lack of a better term, like an on-call crew that's kind of been servicing. I know that's been very helpful for the last couple months for Main Street.
It has,
and keep an update like street lights out and just little things like that.
Yes. Yes, and so for anybody who lives in the city that doesn't know about the Fix-It forms, oh my gosh, those are such a huge help for anybody who lives in the city. If you see something wrong, whether it be a leak or when we were taking down the Christmas decorations, the Santa hats, one of the things that I noticed was several of the water hole covers, either the ones for actual city water or the ones that had originally been put in for the watering of pots and trees there along Main Street. Several of those were in either missing or broken.
Gotcha.
And so I was able to do those Fix-It forms, and I know that they've already been working on that. So it was quick.
That is cool.
It is.
And I've heard, I guess that's a thing with the manhole covers kind of thing. I guess there's something that they get exposed to that erodes over time, and so I think they're in a process of they're just having to replace them because now's that time where they're starting to be affected by whatever science is eroding that in the methane or whatever's under there.
So the smaller covers that I was talking about for the water system that originally went to the trees.
Smaller ones, I gotcha.
Those smaller ones are plastic.
The ones I keep hitting with your lawnmower.
Well, these are along the brick
street.
area along Main Street, but they're plastic. So our UV light and our high temperatures, I'm sure are very damaging for those. And I don't know how long they've been in the ground.
Okay.
So it's just things like that. And it's not something. As you're driving down the street, you're not going to notice it.
Sure.
It's not unless you're out walking that you're going to notice it. So,
absolutely.
And these things, a lot of people might look at it and go, whatever, and keep walking. But if you stop for a moment and think about it, that could actually be a problem for somebody.
Sure.
Somebody could very easily trip on that.
Absolutely. So it's a lawsuit or a risk waiting to happen. It could be.
No one wants to see somebody get hurt.
Sure.
So if you see something like that, by all means, please send it a Fix-It form. And anywhere in town, that's not just for downtown.
And obviously,
anywhere in town when you see something that needs fixing.
And obviously, the Main Street corridor, that's one of the big things is they want as much foot traffic going up and down those streets as possible. And so little things like that, we're human beings. When you walk down a street or some place especially you've never been before, you're taking it all in. And you're formulating opinions like, oh, man, they really take care of things around here. Those are all indicators to people on how they want to come back or how much time they want to spend here or any of that kind of stuff. And if you're going downtown and there's trash everywhere, people just doing bad, you know what I mean? Just loitering in places and people like, I don't want to go down there. I want to just kind of walk through, stroll, maybe sit down, have something to eat, maybe go sit on the courthouse lawn and read a book for a little bit. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they want to do. And if it's not pretty or nice, they're not going to do that. They're going to go places like that. So that's why it's so important to keep that up, because let's face it, most people that come to this city, we have a lot of people that come to this city that never been here before, or don't live here, or don't come here very often, and we loved for them when they do go back to their homes or travel. They said, "Man, that was a beautiful time." I walked downtown in Roswell. I had a great lunch. The people were very friendly. I was asking for things to do, and they told me to go here, and here, and that's what we want for people to remember. So when they come back through here, that they say, you know what, when next time they're taking a vacation or travel, it's like, yeah, let's bring so-and-so and stop through Roswell and go see some of that stuff, or go to the museum, or go, one of the other 1,000 things we've got that's going on here that everyone says we don't have nothing to do about, that stuff. But that's really, so these things we're talking about, something about reporting a cover missing or something like that's what we're talking about. It's all, it's just like your house. If you have a table or chair that breaks, is it crucial you fix it right at that moment? Probably not. But you know what? You
gotta put it on a list.
Yeah, but your own mental health, your own peace of mind, you're like, all right, my space is now fixed. Now that, you know what I mean? And that's no different here is what we're talking.
Well, and that was one of the things I was thinking as you were talking about people coming to visit. If you happen to be walking in your front yard and you see a piece of trash, you're going to pick it up and throw it in the trash can, right?
Most people.
So we ask that if you're out and about downtown or anywhere in the city and you're in a public space and you happen to see a piece of trash, pick it up.
Sure.
Find a
find in the street. Don't
don't go running out in front of the traffic.
But if you're walking up the sidewalk and there's a Coke bottle sitting there, so pick it up and toss it or get rid of it. Yeah.
Yes. So just encourage, and that's civic pride.
Yeah.
It's easy. It doesn't take you but a moment, and you probably nobody saw you do it, and it's one of those things of you do right even when someone's not watching.
Sure.
So, they keep that in mind too.
I always just remind people, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can get so much more done, and if you're just, yes, be passionate, be on your convictions and things, but at the same time, be nice. It's not that hard.
Right.
Not that hard.
Right.
Things will get a lot easier.
One of the things I forgot to mention was for February, we did Main Street Has a Heart, and unfortunately, I ended up with the flu. Of all things, I ended up with flu, and so I was unable to follow through with getting our presentation date set up.
Okay.
So we're looking at March 16th for a presentation
so
date.
So here in a week or two.
Yes. Yeah. So March 16th, we'll most likely do it right here in Reichman.
Reichman Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll invite each of the businesses to come out along with whichever charity that they were raising funds or materials for, and do their presentation. And we hope to have, of course, some press out there and all that kind of stuff.
And see it, and it's always fun because you got the mural backdrop there.
Yes.
It's kind of a cool.
We love that spot.
Yeah.
It does make for a beautiful picture.
It is.
It really does.
If you haven't been to Reichman Park or hung out in there in the last year or so, you should. It's beautiful. The tile work. You could spend hours just looking at the tile work, and because that was all like hand painted by kids and things and different
people all over the community.
And they put that in there. I mean, the mural, and they actually set it up. It's pretty. They did a kind of a smart thing where when they did the remodel on that area here, they set it up so for bands and things, it's easy to plug in and do all the stuff that. So even it's an outdoor place. They still have the amenities they need to do live music or do any kind of little presentation out there.
Well, and I will throw out that if it's an area that you want to utilize as a gathering place for your family or something, you do need to get with the city. It is considered a city park. So you do have to have permissions to be there. As far as I know, there's not a fee unless you are plugging into the electricity, if I remember correctly. So, but you do need to make sure you get that permitting. But it's a great little place to have a group of people. You're right there along Main Street, and then on the back side there's some beautiful ironwork. They've got a beautiful wrought iron fence there.
Yeah.
And everything was done very, very well. It's a beautiful little spot.
Pretty little park.
Yes,
it
is.
It is. So
It
go have lunch there, Nick. If you work downtown or ever, go grab you a lunch from one of these local vendors here and go sit out there and eat it.
Yeah, well,
It'd be
absolutely.
a good time.
Absolutely. So I think that was about it.
Okay, good. I was looking. I was like, we're running short time.
Yeah,
How much? We better get it in
We're
there.
running short. Yeah, I talked about our fundraiser April 9th. If you want info on that, like I said, our phone number is 575-914-8018 or even the 8017. And you can leave a message.
Course, you can always reach out via social media, Facebook. Main Street Roswell has a Facebook page.
And an Instagram.
Those are great ways to, if you have questions or anything, to get a response. Of course, Main Street Roswell's website, mainstreetroswell.org.
Yes.
You can go there and see, like if you want to be involved in Future First Fridays, and maybe you're a band or a nonprofit that would like to be a part of it, you'll find your information you need there on the Main Street website.
Yeah,
there.
so we do encourage nonprofits to come out during that first Friday.
Yeah.
Especially as our weather gets nicer, we are going to be seeing more and more people out walking. Yeah. And if you're needing to get information out about your nonprofit, whether it be information specifically about what you do, or you've got a small fundraiser going and you want to come out and sell tickets, just give us a call and we'll find a business that can.
I love
sponsor
seeing
you.
when, like, say, the high school dance teams or bands or some of our local gymnastic or dance teams, when they go to like Pioneer Plaza there, and they usually do like some demos and things on Friday, or maybe like one of the karate dojos or something. They always have little. Usually it's youth out there, and
absolutely.
I love that because they get to. It's like entertainment in the park there, and you get to hang out and sit on the pedestal by the statue there and sit back and watch the performances and things. And so we'll be more of those for future Fridays here as the weather gets warmer.
Yes, absolutely. As our weather changes, so everybody come on out tonight. We hope to see you.
Yeah. Again, officially it's like 5:30 to about 8. But some of the merchants, they'll be doing stuff all day. Right now, they've got stuff. You can go to the individual pages of business websites and things to find out some of that. But and then generally speaking, a lot of the business will be staying open late tonight. And like I said, with reading and Dr. Seuss's birthday, plan on a lot of that stuff tonight. So come prepared to. You do some ooblex or wear your hats or come and meet some Dr. Seuss characters in the reel as you're going to see all that tonight.
Yes.
So come on out and have some fun. Bring the whole family and be prepared to just spend a good time eating, dining, shopping, and just seeing the best of Roswell and what it has to offer.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you letting me come in.
Anytime. We'll see you next time, if not sooner. I know if we need stuff between then. I know you guys got a lot going on, so if we need to get you in more, then... well,
and I got another group that I want to get in here.
Very good.
Friends of the Chavez County Sheriff's Office.
Very good.
Yes.
I love the Sheriff's Department. They do a lot of great stuff for us.
They do. Yes.
We owe them a lot.
Yes.
All right, it is 9:54. I've got time to play some commercials, so I got to do that. So we're going to do that real quick. We'll do news and then a quick commercial break before they kick us off the radio. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. We begin with a developing story in Chavez County where the sheriff says he's looking for a fugitive at large. In a Facebook post, Sheriff Mike Harrington said deputies are actively searching for Hector Aguayo Salazar, who is wanted for murder and tampering with evidence. He is 26 years old and is possibly driving a green minivan. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Hector Aguayo Salazar is urged to call 575-624-7590. Dispatchers got a 911 call early Thursday for the report of a flare having issues along US 62-180 between Carlsbad and Hobbs. Eddy County Fire and Rescue was dispatched to evaluate the area. While en route, they reported a bright glow coming from the area. When they got there, the units reported a large fire at an oil field near Burton Flats Road. 8 tanks, multiple vessels, heater treaters, and 2 propane tanks were on fire. Took about an hour to get things under control. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll start off cloudy today, but some sunshine coming back by afternoon. We have low pressure that'll be moving through our area, so the wind will be gusty. No rain with that system, though. Our afternoon high today in the low 80s. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours, and then we'll drop about 10 degrees on our afternoon high tomorrow. Breezy, sunny, and low 70s. Upper 60s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Reports. The girls' state basketball tournament begins today. The boys begin tomorrow, and we've got a lot of teams involved. Let's go to the slate in girls' hoops tonight. Goddard is the 10th seed. They'll be playing at number 7, Moriarty, in Class 4A. In Class 3A, Dexter is the 7th seed, and they will be playing host the Demons to number 10, Hatch Valley. And in Class 1A, girls hoops, Gateway Christian, the 5th seed, will be playing host to number 12, Alamo Navajo. Tomorrow, in boys basketball, Goddard at Academy, Dexter at Robertson, and Hagerman at home against Texaco. I wanted to pass along a baseball score for you. Roswell got its first victory of the season, beating Alamogordo yesterday 6-5, losing the second game of the Twin Bill 14-1. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. America's employers added 678,000 jobs, with unemployment dropping to a 2-year low.
In addition to the job gain, the Labor Department says the unemployment rate dropped from 4 to 3.8%. The job gain underscored the economy's health as the Omicron wave fades and more Americans venture out to spend at restaurants, shops, and hotels despite surging inflation. The lower unemployment rate extends a sharp drop in joblessness as the economy has rebounded from the pandemic recession.
Correspondent Jeremy House on the February jobs report. 2 big names in Japanese electronics and autos are joining forces to produce an electric vehicle. Sony and Honda agreeing to set up a joint venture this year to start selling EVs by 2025. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The crowning achievement of King Solomon's reign was the construction of his temple in Jerusalem. When building the temple, Solomon spared no expense, from vast quantities of cedar wood to the choicest stone that was quarried somewhere else. At the time of the building of the temple, the Bible says the people were sacrificing at the high places because no house had been built for the name of the Lord. The temple then becomes significant to Israel because it brings together the people of God and is a place where they can invite the presence of God. In today's world, God still desires to locate where his people congregate. Matthew 18 reads that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. Christians today still need a place to celebrate the mighty acts of God. Please join us this Sunday as we delve into God's Word and spur one another on to love and good works.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us.